Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Everyone's job transfer. This assassin is a bit strong. Chapter 91. I saw Zhang Yu again at 2:30 this afternoon, the same time as last time. However, the location changed from a coffee shop to a tea house. The atmosphere here is better and more relaxing. Hello, President Zhang. Based on the experience last time, Qin Yun arrived 30 minutes early, and indeed he arrived earlier than Zhang Yu. He only waited for a few minutes before he saw Zhang Yu coming in from the door and couldn't help but stand up and say hello to her. Mr. Qin came so early. Zhang Yu obviously didn't expect that he would arrive earlier than her, so she couldn't help but be a little surprised. I felt bad about asking President Zhang to wait for me last time, so this time I have to wait for President Zhang. Qin Yun laughed and asked the other party to sit down. He was about to call the waiter in the tea house, but he didn't expect Zhang Yu to be more skilled than him. He directly called the name of a certain high-level tea master, who seemed to come here often. He somewhat understood why Zhang Yu asked him to meet here. Taking advantage of the fact that the high-level tea master with high professional skills skillfully displayed his tea ceremony skills to prepare tea for the two of them, his movements were elegant and pleasing to the eye. Qin Yun was also secretly sizing up Zhang Yu today. Different from the last time he saw her, she seemed to have changed her clothes. The change in style surprised him a little. If last time Zhang Yu was dressed more neatly and in neutral tones of black and white, exuding a dash of heroism, then this time she has completely changed into a different style. How can I put it? More feminine. Mature, elegant, and it highlights her perfect figure. Especially the pair of proud white rabbits almost made Qin Yun fall in love with them, and he almost couldn't control his gaze. Let me go. What happened to President Zhang today? Why do I smell something like a trap? Qin Yun was a little frightened, but with extremely strong willpower, he controlled his micro-expressions so as not to lose his composure. Tisk, the person who came here is not a good person. This is who exposed my weakness. Realizing that this meeting seemed unusual, Qin Yun secretly increased his vigilance, kept his gaze straight, and tried to act like a gentleman. As a fighter, Zhang Yu's senses are far beyond ordinary people's and are very keen. He has noticed Qin Yun's sight a long time ago. Her face was slightly red, and she seemed a little shy, not as down-to-earth as last time. But in fact, she was yelling at Xiao Yuer in her heart, and she wished she could pull that little girl over who made such a bad idea and squeeze her face hard. What do you mean? If you, President, are not willing to sacrifice, then take a step back, change your battle plan, fully demonstrate your physical advantages, and carry out a big battle of temptation. In order to attract the other party's attention, charm the other party, and increase the chance of success of the target agreeing to join the guild. She was also so obsessed that she actually agreed to that little girl's proposal and dressed like this. It was so embarrassing. It was okay when no one was watching, but now sitting in front of Qin Yun, Zhang Yu felt a little uncomfortable all over. She had never tried to dress like this before. Xiao Yuer, that little girl, helped her put it together. In fact, she is more accustomed to the simple and sassy dressing style, and she doesn't like her current outfit. She doesn't feel like herself anymore. Xiao Yuer, I really believed your evil deeds. After I go back, I must teach you a lesson. She even suspected that this little girl was secretly retaliating for her last washboard revenge. What a misstep. Zhang Yu was angry, ashamed, and a little regretful. If she were dressed as usual, she wouldn't care about other people's eyes. Even if it wasn't so pure, as long as she wasn't too presumptuous, she would never take the initiative to show off her figure to others like she does now. This made her feel an inexplicable sense of shame. President Zhang, Qin Yun's voice brought her out of her emotions. Why don't you see Minister Xiao? She obviously came with you last time, why don't you see her here this time? Xiao Yuer. She won't come this time. I have some things that I need her help with. Zhang Yu quickly sorted out her mood and immediately entered the state of the president, and her expression gradually returned to its former calmness. Meeting Qin Yun again was an unplanned arrangement. She was originally going to recruit other new people today, but now she could only leave it to Xiao Yuer to handle it on her behalf. She glanced and found that the familiar tea master had retreated, and she and Qin Yun were the only ones left in the tea tasting room. No wonder Qin Yun took the initiative to speak, she didn't notice it just now. That's it. Qin Yun nodded, took the initiative to pick up the teacup, and saluted. Come, President Zhang, please drink tea. Please. Zhang Yu also picked up her cup of tea, greeted each other from a distance, and then took a sip. The fragrance is fragrant, elegant and mellow, moisturizing and sweet. Sure enough, tea tastes better. She sighed in her heart, her mood improved a lot and she no longer felt restrained. Although the way I dress now is different from usual, it is still a normal female dress. Why should I be so restless? What's more, she and Qin Yun had only met twice, and he didn't understand her dressing style, so what was he afraid of? Tea can nourish people, and it can also nourish the heart. At this moment, Zhang Yu could understand the deeper meaning of this sentence, cultivate his mind and nature, and enjoy the tea quietly. The two parties sat in this tea room, sipping tea for a while, and then finally got down to business. I wonder why President Zhang suddenly called me out this time. Of course Zhang Yu will not say that he wants you to agree to join the guild immediately. Whether you join or not is related to the joining of another SS-level genius. That would be too straightforward. Moreover, compared to Amelia Su, she actually cares more about Qin Yun and whether he is willing to join her guild. I heard that the Shengxi Guild also intends to invite Mr. Qin to join their guild. She looked at Qin Yun and asked thoughtfully, besides, it is their president, Sun Zhengyang, who came forward. Well, it is true. Qin Yun nodded, not doubting that they must have their own sources of information. They are all guilds who come to Kyoto University to recruit new members. Who doesn't keep an eye on each other, for fear that others will poach the good talents? I wonder what Mr. Qin thinks of Sun Zhengyang. Zhang Yu nodded slightly, looked directly at him, and asked again. Very elegant, easygoing, and courageous. Qin Yun recalled his last meeting with Sun Zhengyang and expressed a very positive impression. He is a very good president. Well, it seems that Mr. Qin thinks highly of him. Zhang Yu was noncommittal about this, but suddenly changed the topic and talked about another topic. I wonder what Mr. Qin thinks of the mysterious tower. Mysterious tower. Qin Yun narrowed his eyes slightly, looked at Zhang Yu who was looking directly at him, and pondered. The mysterious tower is related to the fate of every job changer. After thinking for a while, Qin Yun spoke slowly, nodded and said, I know very little about it now, and I haven't even seen it with my own eyes, but I also know its importance. It has to do with the level cap bottleneck for job changers. When I reach level 100 in my fourth job, I will definitely have to take a look. He did not hide his intention to break into the mysterious tower, and firmly believed that this was an idea that every job changer would have, and it was natural and nothing surprising. Is it? Zhang Yu nodded, took a sip of tea, and then continued, but some people don't think so. Oh, Qin Yun asked knowingly, pretending to look at her doubtfully. After the last meeting, he certainly knew that Sun Zhengyang seemed to be very afraid of the mysterious tower and was unwilling to talk about it. Does she also know about this? The mysterious tower is very important, far more important than the level limit you just mentioned. Zhang Yu's eyes flashed, but she seemed to realize her gaffe, and her eyebrows lowered. They all know it, but they turn a blind eye and deliberately pretend not to know. More important. Qin Yun caught the key words in her words, frowned, and asked. But she just shook her head and continued talking to herself. They all believe that no one except SSS level can get past the 100th floor. But I know they are just afraid of death. Including Sun Zhengyang, whom we just talked about. Even though he is also an SS level job transferee, he doesn't want to break into the mysterious tower at all to fight for a glimmer of hope for all job transferees, for humanity, and for the world. You said he was very courageous. Perhaps it is true for other things, but it does not include breaking into the mysterious tower. The president of the Shengxi Guild. If you ask me, he is just a coward, just like other old guys. They are content with the status quo and don't want to take the risk of changing. They are all already rotten. They were all scared out of their wits. We are obviously at the top of the world, but we are content with the status quo and unwilling to fight and climb to a higher peak. They don't deserve to be called the strongest job changers. A bunch of dry bones in the grave, they don't deserve it. Zhang Yu suddenly raised his head and drank all the tea in the cup. A little excitement flashed in his eyes, and he put the teacup down with a thud, showing the aura of a hero while tasting tea. I don't believe it. So, I established the Tower Demolition Team Guild. The purpose is to break through the insurmountable chasm in their eyes. I'm going to prove them all wrong. The 100th floor of the mysterious tower is not as scary as they thought. Even if it's just SS level, you can do it. She looked at Qin Yun and said word by word, this is the purpose of our guild. What they can't do or dare not do, we can do it. Mr. Qin, do you want to be a hero? Or a bear? At this moment, Zhang Yu has forgotten everything. Amelia Su and SS level are no longer important. What she wants is like-minded comrades and partners. Even if it's only S level, so what? You can still contribute to this goal and contribute your strength. She sincerely wants to invite Qin Yun to join in and work together to accomplish this great goal. Hero. I may have done it once, but the price I paid was very high. Qin Yun couldn't help but think of his previous life, when he sacrificed his life to save a little girl. Does it worth? He often thought this and asked himself. But in that urgent moment, he actually didn't have time to think, so he just did it subconsciously, that's all. Want to be a hero who saves people. Being praised. Being publicly praised. Get an award. Guangzhong Yaozu. No, it was just because he happened to be standing there, just in that position, just in time to run over, and just able to stretch out his hand and reach the little girl, that's all. There is no awe-inspiring sense of self-sacrifice for others, no selfless consciousness of risking his life. He just did it based on his instinctive reaction because everything was just right. But he sacrificed his life and ended up in this strange new world. In his own opinion, how could he be considered a hero? Is this so? After hearing his words, Zhang Yu's eyes dimmed a little, seeming a little disappointed. If he refused, she would not continue to force him. But I don't want to be a bear, a coward, or a turtle. Seeing the change in Zhang Yu's expression, Qin Yun couldn't help but twitch his lips, change the subject, and said with a smile. Indeed, even though the strength of the Tower Demolition Team Guild in all aspects was far inferior to that of the Shengxi Guild, he did prefer this guild in his heart, perhaps because of its weird name. I fell in love with it at first glance, it fits my aesthetic perfectly. As a hardcore gamer and a career changer, you should challenge the strongest boss, go through the most difficult levels, and get the best rewards. What about the 100th floor of the mysterious tower? Just rush and that's it. If you are a man, go to the 100th floor. This was the first true thought that came to Qin Yun's mind when he read the information about the mysterious tower on the internet. Okay, then on behalf of everyone in the Tower Demolition Team Guild, I welcome Mr. Qin to join us. Zhang Yu's eyes suddenly widened, she was overjoyed, and smiled happily. She stood up, walked over, and stretched out her right hand towards him. Am I on a pirate ship? Qin Yun also stood up and held his right hand with hers. Haha, you are the vice president now, you ask me. Zhang Yu smiled, if this is a pirate ship, then you are the deputy captain and cannot escape. By the way, I want to ask, does our guild still accept people? Qin Yun blinked and smiled as well. I have a few friends who also want to join the guild with me. Oh, Zhang Yu was a little surprised, but immediately nodded and said, of course, you are the vice president now, you can decide for yourself. However, the main purpose of our guild is to conquer the mysterious tower. You must make it clear to them first. She warned with a serious expression, if they are not afraid of death, then just come. For like-minded comrades and partners, the more the better, the more the better. Haha, okay, I will remind them seriously. Qin Yun smiled and nodded. He really needed to go back and ask Qian Duoduo and the others to let them know the situation clearly. Otherwise, he would have harmed his good brother. This is no joke, conquering the mysterious tower will really be life-threatening. Zhang Yu invites you to join the Tower Demolition Team Guild, do you agree? Please confirm. Yes, no. Single quote. Zhang Yu sent Qin Yun an invitation to join the guild, and a prompt popped up on his personal career panel. Yes, confirmed. Qin Yun raised his finger and pointed at the confirmation button, choosing to agree. Congratulations on joining the Tower Demolition Team Guild. Single quote. Your career panel and guild page have been unlocked. Please check the guild's specific information yourself. Single quote. Congratulations on obtaining the guild buff status. Attack gain. While you are in the guild, your attack power increases by 10%. Single quote. Defense gain. While you are in the guild, your physical defense and magic defense are increased by 10%. Single quote. Life gain. While you are in the guild, your health will be increased by an additional 10%, and your health recovery speed will be increased by 20%. Single quote. Physical strength gain. While you are in the guild, your physical strength will be increased by an additional 10%, and your physical recovery speed will be increased by 20%. Single quote. Mana gain. While you are in the guild, your mana will be increased by an additional 10%, and your mana recovery speed will be increased by 20%. Single quote. Attribute gain. While you are in the guild, all attributes will increase by 10%. Single quote. Rapid gain. While you are in the guild, the skill cooldown time is reduced by 10%. Single quote. Experience gain. While you are in the guild, when there are members of this guild in your team, each member will increase your extra experience gain by 5%, with a maximum limit of 20%. Single quote. Double experience. While you are in the guild, you can get 3 hours of double experience every day. It is reset every day and cannot be accumulated. You can open and close it freely 3 times a day, 3/3. Single quote. 5 times experience. While you are in the guild, you can get 2 hours of 5 times experience every week. It is reset every week and cannot be accumulated. The number of times you can open and close it freely once a week is 1/1. Single quote. Extra drops. When you kill an enemy while you are in the guild, there is a 10% chance of dropping an additional kill reward. Single quote. Comma. As soon as he joined the guild, a large series of information prompts popped up on Qin Yun's career panel, which kept refreshing the screen like a waterfall. Moreover, on his personal professional attribute panel, there are many more gain status buffs, most of which are percentage increases, and the values of various attributes have been greatly improved as a result. Well, a simple estimate, it's about 20%, and the combat effectiveness soars instantly. This is too fierce. What attracted Qin Yun's attention the most was the gain in experience points. One can only be triggered by teaming up with people from the same guild. Each teammate will gain 5% extra experience. If it is a 5-person team, that is the maximum limit of 20%. In addition, there are double experience and 5 times experience. You can choose to focus on killing monsters and upgrading during a certain period of time to maximize the efficiency of obtaining experience points. There are 3 hours of double experience every day, that is, fighting 1 monster is equivalent to fighting 2. There are 2 hours of 5 times the experience every week, that is, fighting 1 monster is equivalent to fighting 5. I don't know if the 2 can be superimposed and turned on at the same time. If that's possible, that's 10 times the experience, right? Well, maybe you can find a chance to try it. Seeing the guild gain of these experience points, Qin Yun's eyes lit up, and he finally knew how others achieved rapid upgrades. After a turn, it was obvious that even his leveling up was too slow and inefficient. How difficult would it be for others? It turns out that after joining the guild, there are actually such benefits. Although there is a time limit, as long as you form a team with teammates from the same guild for a fixed few hours every day, activate the experience halo, and concentrate on killing monsters and upgrading, you can greatly improve the efficiency of gaining experience points. In this way, you no longer have to work hard all day long, but you can take time out to do other things. Of course, if you are a leveling madman, you can continue to fight monsters and upgrade, but the efficiency will be much slower, just like before joining the guild. For Qin Yun, the only problem is that he has always been alone and has no suitable teammates. Therefore, he should not be able to get the experience gain from teaming up with people from the same guild. But fortunately, it's only 20%, not a lot. If you really can't find a suitable teammate, it doesn't matter, just kill a few more monsters. With his amazing monster spawning efficiency, this is not a difficult task. Hey, how's it going? Zhang Yu seemed to be used to seeing such surprised expressions on every newcomer who joined the guild, and she couldn't help but laugh. Aren't our guild benefits very good? She was in a good mood after finally successfully inviting Qin Yun to join the guild. When our guild's level increases in the future, we can unlock more. With that said, she started to raise her hand to operate again and found Qin Yun's name. Congratulations, your guild position has been promoted to Vice President. Single quote. Soon, a reminder popped up on Chin Yun's career panel. The guild page has a list of all members, and the positions are also divided from low to high, including ordinary members, middle-level members, high-level members, elite members, administrators, vice presidents, and Zhang Yu, the president. The head of the logistics department, Xiao Yuer, is actually one of the administrators, what we call the guild's top management. And Qin Yun was directly promoted to vice president by her from being an ordinary member when he first joined. It was like fulfilling her promise to him on the spot. At this moment, I don't know how many members of the tower demolition team received this latest news alert, and their jaws almost dropped. What the hell? Our vacant vice president is actually filled. Who is this big boss named Qin Yun? He was actually attracted by the president. Oh my god, they all know how high President Zhang Yu's vision is. The person who can be attracted to her basically has something. To be appointed as the vice president, he must have thick thighs. They really wanted to see with their own eyes how powerful Qin Yun was. Fortunately, the career panel of career changers in this world is relatively simple and has few functions. It does not have a built-in chat window or guild channel. Otherwise, it will definitely explode at this time. Let's go, I'll take you to the guild headquarters. Zhang Yu didn't care so much and left the tea house with Qin Yun, seemingly very excited. When she came to the door, she waved and took out a cool-looking heavy-duty motorcycle from her space backpack. It was entirely black and decorated with cold blue lines. Its shape was domineering and very eye-catching. Qin Yun fell in love with him at first sight, his eyes brightened. This is a special vehicle built by an S-level mechanical engineer from our guild. Zhang Yu opened the career panel and made a few operations, then changed into a cool black tight-fitting leather jacket, a rider uniform that matched well with the heavy motorcycle. She took out a helmet and put it on, then took out another and handed it to him. Ordinary means of transportation are easily damaged when attacked by wild monsters in the wild, so they are of no use at all. And this special vehicle has a protection value that can offset monster attacks. Unless the protection value drops to 0, it may be destroyed. Well, although it has no attack power and cannot cause damage to monsters, it is equivalent to our car. It is used by us on the way to the wilderness, because walking with only 2 legs is too slow. Zhang Yu nodded and explained to him, "You are only over level 20 now. If you don't realize it yet, you will understand in the future. The higher the level of monsters, the farther away they are from the main city in the wild area." Quote, "Without special vehicles, we would have spent most of our time on the road." I see. Qin Yun nodded. He could actually understand it, because he was mainly leveling up more than 10 levels of monsters and often had to run far away. Time was indeed running out. Of course, it can also run in the main city. Seeing Qin Yun staring intently at this heavy motorcycle, she also saw his liking and couldn't help but smile. "How is it, do you like it? This one costs about 12 million. Well, upon hearing this price, Qin Yun, a poor man, instantly lost his light in his eyes. This is too expensive, he can't afford it. Unless he sold the legendary level Phoenix Ring, but how is that possible? If it were just a few million, he could bite the bullet, work hard, and save more money. But he really couldn't bear to part with more than 10 million, he might as well use it to buy better equipment. However, as the vice president, you can get a quota to use the public car." Zhang Yu seemed to have expected it. Seeing his disappointed expression, she smiled triumphantly. "When you get to the guild headquarters, you can write the application yourself and then approve it yourself. That is your scope of authority anyway." After putting on the helmet, she stepped up directly, then tilted her head to Qin Yun to indicate. "Come on, sit up quickly, we are about to set off." Good. Qin Yun, who was still a little hesitant at first, couldn't help but be overjoyed when he heard that he could get a quota for using the public car and got on it decisively. "Aren't we just riding on the same motorcycle? She doesn't mind, so why should he mind?" Of course, he didn't hold Zhang Yu's waist, he just held a certain part of the car body firmly. Zhang Yu, who was sitting in front, smiled slightly and twisted the accelerator. The engine suddenly made a low roar, which made people's adrenaline surge instantly. The next second, the heavy-duty locomotive rushed out like an arrow, reaching an extremely fast speed in just a few seconds. Qin Yun was almost thrown out, but luckily he grabbed the handrail in time, his heart beating loudly. Wow, this feeling, love, Love it. I have to get one too. He was not frightened, but instead became more excited. He wished he was the one driving this heavy motorcycle now. The guild headquarters of the tower demolition team is located in Dongcheng District, the main city of Kyoto. Moreover, it is quite large in scale and covers a wide area. It is an entire building and looks very financially strong. No wonder Zhang Yu, the president, drives heavy-duty motorcycles worth more than 10 million yuan. When she brought Qin Yun to the guild headquarters building, he was slightly shocked and had an unreal feeling. Such a luxurious guild headquarters, and I am actually the vice president of this guild. Even if he succeeds and becomes the president in the future, will he still have all this directly? Qin Yun couldn't help but glance at Zhang Yu, but he didn't expect that she was such a rich woman, as rich as her heart. You know, this tower demolition team guild was created by her from scratch. But, what the hell is that guild badge pattern? Qin Yun looked up and saw the very conspicuous guild badge hanging on the door of the guild headquarters, and his face froze. Well, a fist broke a tall tower, broke it in the middle, and even broke out a small piece of it. Very good, very consistent with the theme of the Tower Destroyer team. It's this style of painting. Ah no, it's just this structural line. Isn't it too simple? It feels so childish. It's like the graffiti of a child of several years old, it's really a bit. How about it? I designed it myself. Zhang Yu proudly crossed her arms and stood in front of the gate of the guild headquarters, looking up to admire her masterpiece. When I was 4 years old. Quote. Is it really drawn by a child? Also, what's going on with your proud tone? No one stops you. Xiao Yuer, where is Minister Xiao? Someone come quickly. Qin Yun really couldn't say any words of praise against his will, so he could only remain silent. If he had known that the guild badge of the tower demolition team looked like this, he would probably have hesitated for at least a few days when she invited her to join. Still haven't investigated the situation clearly. He really didn't want to wear a guild badge with this style of painting on himself, it would be too embarrassing. Humph, I don't know how to appreciate it. Zhang Yu rolled her eyes at him, led him into the guild headquarters, and began to introduce him. This is the front hall and reception room, used to entertain guests. This is the meeting hall, where the top management of the guild meets to discuss important matters. This is a training ground. It has a simulated combat function. You can freely set the level attributes of virtual monsters, which is convenient for us to practice our skills and improve our actual combat capabilities. This is a duel arena. We can fight here. Perfected being PK, of course, will not kill anyone. Even if we lose, our health will be forced to the last point, and our resurrection badge will not be consumed. This is our restaurant and kitchen, where we eat and drink. I'm not afraid to tell you that the chef is an S-level chef. But if you want to eat a buffet meal, you have to pay for it out of your own pocket. This is the database, which records all kinds of information we have collected, as well as the guild's personnel list, mission action records, meeting minutes, statistical tables of various resources and materials, equipment drawings, pharmaceutical formulas, etc. This is a logistics warehouse, a place where various things are placed. Xiao Yuer is in charge of it. I don't know what the specific items are. If you are interested, you can see for yourself later. This is our guild store. There are various supplies, materials, and equipment that can be exchanged, but you can only use guild points. You mean guild points? Well, you can get them by doing guild tasks. And you are the vice president, every day you can get points every month. This is our dormitory. You'll know it right away. It's a place to sleep and rest. You can move here if you want. However, there are many girls in our guild, so don't just barge in. This strange machine is a daily random buff lottery vending machine. Each person can only draw once a day for 1,000 yuan. You can draw a 12-hour random buff by lottery, but it is a bit tricky. Sometimes it is a buff. Sometimes it's a debuff, it depends on your luck. Oh, do you want to try it? Okay, hey, the attack power is plus 5%. You are lucky. Qin Yun was taken by Zhang Yu to visit the guild headquarters. He listened to her introduction and became familiar with it all. On the way, he met members of the Tower Demolition Team Guild from time to time. When they saw Qin Yun following President Zhang Yu, and taking the initiative to say hello to her, they all cast curious glances at him, as if they were guessing whether he was a certain vice president who had just been promoted. Long. Otherwise, why would you follow President Zhang Yu? But Zhang Yu ignored them and waved his hand, letting them go about their business. When this round of recruitment is over, I will formally introduce you as the vice president to everyone. We are not here yet, but it will take a few days. Zhang Yu explained to Qin Yun like this, as if she was afraid that he would think too much. Qin Yun nodded and had no objection. In fact, he didn't care much about this kind of thing, and he didn't want to be watched by a large group of people. Come here, this is the underground parking lot for vehicles. You can pick the one you like. Finally, Zhang Yu took him to the place he was most interested in right now. Here, he saw a variety of special vehicles, including off-road vehicles, buses, heavy-duty motorcycles, and even helicopters. The weirdest thing is that there are several living mounts with saddles on them, which look like some kind of magical beast. They were caught by animal trainers. After being tamed, they can also ride. Zhang Yu pointed at a giant strange bird that looked like an ostrich and introduced, "Our guild has a beast tamer. Although his combat strength is very weak, he can tame some special monsters and turn them into mounts. Well, they are quite popular because you don't have to worry about the road conditions in the wilderness." Great, this is a game. Qin Yun vomited in his heart. He carefully selected and stood in front of a heavy motorcycle. It is overall black, has a strong mechanical feel, is thick and steady, has a cool shape, and has flame-like patterns. The most eye-catching thing is the pair of large front and rear tires, which look full of horsepower. He fell in love with it at first sight and wanted to ride on it now and give it a test drive. "Oh, do you like this one?" As soon as Zhang Yu saw his eyes, she knew what he was thinking and smiled slightly. "The right to use it is yours. Remember to write the application first, otherwise Xiao Yuer, the head of the logistics department, will go crazy. The thing she hates the most is when she's counting supplies and discovers that they don't know where they've gone." Hearing Zhang Yu speak so seriously, Qin Yun also knew the seriousness of the matter, and immediately started to write the application, and then signed his name to approve it. Well, this is very vice president. He felt like he had a taste of power, and he was very happy. After completing the application procedures, he put this cool transcendent level heavy-duty motorcycle into his space backpack and obtained the right to use it. It even comes with a cool-looking helmet. Just like fishing, you must remember to wear a helmet when driving a heavy motorcycle. This is the most basic safety awareness. Qin Yun attaches great importance to this and naturally will not take it lightly. Although he really wanted to go out and drive now, there were still things to do, so he had to hold back his excitement for the time being. The vehicle is settled. Do you want to change your equipment? You can also apply to the guild for the right to use equipment according to your own needs. Zhang Yu looked at him and seemed to know his mood, so he spoke directly. She didn't know what attributes Qin Yun's current equipment was, what its grade was, and whether it was necessary to replace it, but as the vice president, he obviously had the right to apply for equipment from the guild. "Can I still apply for equipment from the guild?" Qin Yun couldn't help but be a little surprised. It was too difficult for him. Due to lack of financial resources, the equipment he wore was still a mixed set of blue high-quality equipment, and he had no money to replace it with better ones. Unexpectedly, after joining the guild and becoming the vice president, I would suddenly have everything. Of course, as the vice president, you have this right. Zhang Yu nodded and explained. Actually, anyone who is a senior manager of our guild can submit an application and get the right to use a set of equipment for free, as long as it is available in our guild's warehouse. After the level is upgraded, you can also apply to replace it with a higher level. This is a benefit for our guild's senior management, she said with a rather proud tone, and then gave a solemn reminder, but they are still the property of the guild, not individuals. Well, they still belong to the guild. You only have the right to use them, and you can't secretly sell them for money. This is the rule. Yeah, I understand. Of course Qin Yun understands that rules are necessary. The stricter the rules, the more formal the guild will be and the more it can develop and grow. Afterwards, he followed Zhang Yu to the logistics department. After careful selection, he applied for and received a level 20 purple rare quality armor set, the Nightwalker set. Seeing their luxurious attributes, Qin Yun was overjoyed and immediately equipped them. Well, his personal professional attributes have improved a lot, and he is very satisfied. In addition to the armor, he also applied for 3 additional accessories, a waist ornament and 2 rings. They are all purple rare quality items, especially those 2 rings. Their properties are much better than his original, tiger tooth ring. The waistband and another ring that had been missing were finally replaced. As for the pendant, he did not apply for a new one because his original, Ogre's Bloodthirsty pendant, had very good properties and was considered the best among level 20 pendant accessories, especially its blood-sucking effect. It means so much to him that there is no need to change it. Putting on this new equipment, Qin Yun felt that he had become much stronger. It was like replacing a shotgun with a cannon, and the output was even more powerful. He wanted to find a few wild monsters and try his current damage. Well, the previous training ground seems to have a simulated battle function, and you can also freely set the level attributes of virtual monsters. I will try it out later. Qin Yun admired his handsome new equipment and was eager to try it out. Seeing the happy look on his face, Zhang Yu smiled knowingly and understood his mood. As a job changer, who doesn't like more powerful equipment? However, what puzzled her was that Qin Yun did not apply for new weapons or pendants, which made her thoughtful. Perhaps Qin Yun's weapon really has high attack power as she had guessed before. Maybe it's even an extreme 5-star purple rare quality weapon with full attributes. And his pendant should have good properties too. That's why he didn't choose to replace it and applied for new and better equipment. However, are there only these 2 pieces? It seems that I still underestimated his potential. He didn't have the ultimate equipment, but he could still have such terrifying instant burst damage. He is indeed not a simple S level. His awakened talent skill should be very strong, even super strong in both. Our guild found a treasure this time. His future is limitless. Zhang Yu was happier than Qin Yun, who had obtained new equipment, with a smile on his lips. She was very happy that she successfully invited him to join the guild. It must have been the wisest decision in her life. Come on, Qin Yun, I'll take you to your office. Zhang Yu smiled and said to Qin Yun, and then took him upstairs. This floor is your vice president's office, and the floor above is my president's office. She raised her hand to signal him, pointed to the ceiling, and introduced, however, because I want to upgrade with all my strength and complete the 4th rank as soon as possible, I rarely stay at the guild headquarters in the near future. After saying that, she gave Qin Yun her personal contact information so that he could find her if there was something urgent. The contact information used in the previous meeting between the 2 parties was actually used by the guild to recruit new people, and was not her own exclusive number. Being able to give him personal contact information means that he has obviously been regarded as one of his own, and he is someone who takes him very seriously. Well, I also have to work hard to level up, so I probably won't have much time to come over. Qin Yun saved her number in the address book of his mobile phone and noted it as President Zhang, nodded and said. Although the entire floor is his vice president's office, which is a bit exaggerated, it is impossible for him to really stay here all the time. He is only level 25 now, and what he can do for the guild is very limited. Upgrading is his most important thing. That's what I hope too. Zhang Yu took him around to let him get familiar with it, and then took him to the top floor, her president's office, for a final conversation. Qin Yun, your potential is very high, I am very optimistic about you. She was sitting on the president's leather chair, with a floor-to-ceiling glass window behind her. She could see the scenery of the main city of Kyoto outside, from a high position, with an unobstructed view. I hope you can level up as soon as possible, preferably catch up to my level and fight side by side with me. Zhang Yu looked at him seriously, with expectation in her eyes, looking forward to that day. In her plan, 4 turns to level 100 is the real beginning. This is also the purpose of her establishing the Tower Demolition Team Guild. Well, can I ask, what level is President Zhang now? Qin Yun's eyes flickered, he looked at her and asked curiously. I'm at level 73 now, and it should be about a year and a half before I reach level 80 and reach level 4. Zhang Yu casually opened his personal career panel, glanced at the progress bar of experience points, and said frankly. This was her estimate of herself, which was close to 10. At her current upgrade speed, it would take more than 2 months to reach the next level. It was a long and boring journey of upgrading and fighting monsters. No wonder she had sincerely sighed before, envious that Qin could actually enjoy it. Can you reach level 80 in 1.5 years? That's not far from level 100, the 4th level. This President Yang's upgrade speed is a bit fast. I probably can't keep up with your level. Qin shook his head and said with a smile. In a year and a half, he should be able to easily move to 2nd level. I don't know if he can do 3rd level. He can give it a try, but if he wants to go to 4th level, he is a little far away. It also depends on the subsequent upgrade speed. How much slower will the efficiency be at each level? Will the required experience points be doubled after the transcendent level? He didn't think he could catch up to her level. After all, there is a gap of 4 years between the two, and the gap is not so easy to catch up with. Even with the guild's experience gain, with his extraordinary upgrade speed, he still doesn't have much confidence that he can surpass her and reach level 100 earlier than her. But Zhang Yu misunderstood what he meant and thought he was talking about rising to level 80. Haha, I'm just asking you to do your best, I'm not really asking you to catch up with me. Zhang Yu smiled, stood up and stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window, overlooking the main city of Kyoto below, and said softly, "Don't worry, there is still plenty of time, I can wait for you at level 100. Looking at the reflection in the window, she glanced at the tight leather jacket she was wearing. She seemed to feel that the riding uniform was a bit restrictive. She raised her hand to remove it, put it back in the space backpack, and resumed the same outfit as in the tea house. Her perfect figure was instantly highlighted, so nice. Qin eyes fell on something involuntarily, but he immediately woke up and quickly moved away. He couldn't help but marvel in his heart. Zhang Yu also noticed it, and suddenly felt a little embarrassed. He almost forgot about this special outfit for the Battle of Temptation, and couldn't help but write a note to a certain little girl, waiting to settle the ledger with her. But she didn't show it. Instead, she deliberately stretched her figure and looked graceful. How's it going? Does it look good? She turned around, put one hand on her hip, looked at Qin and asked deliberately. Nice. Seeing that she dared to tease him, Qin lost his temper, nodded straightforwardly, and even took another look at her. This was the second time she had done this. The last time she let him sit in the back seat of a heavy-duty motorcycle, it seemed that she was testing whether he would take the opportunity to hug her waist. He was a little suspicious, but he was not sure. Now, he was finally sure that she did it on purpose. And the way she dressed today was also very suspicious, which fully proved that she knew his weakness. Are you brave enough? Do you really think I dare not look at you openly? My patience has its limits. You are repeatedly jumping over my moral bottom line. Who can bear this? Zhang Yu's face turned red, a little dissatisfied with his wanton gaze. It seems that Xiao Yuer is right, you are indeed a white rabbit maniac. She glared at him, deliberately straightened the round and plump pair, and hummed, "Hey, do you want to touch them with your own hands? If you really dare to take action, I will let you taste the power of my fist." Ah, this. It turns out that it was the calm Minister Xiao last time who exposed his weakness. Humph, I've recorded this grudge. Qin expression changed, but he did not flinch at all. He nodded decisively. I think. Dare you use this kind of thing to provoke him? It's not him who suffers anyway. I bother. Zhang Yu spat lightly, as if she didn't expect that he would be so thick-skinned and dare to agree directly. She was a little caught off guard. She calmed down and said firmly, "Okay, yes, as long as your level can surpass mine, I will agree. Let you touch at once." Haha, you can say, "No door," so uniquely, President. Qin couldn't help but complain, of course he understood what she meant. It is basically impossible for a new job changer in her 20s to reach a level higher than her, a level 73 boss who is about to challenge for the 4th job. Unless she was stuck at the threshold of level 4, stuck at level 80, but how could that be possible? Snort. Zhang Yu snorted proudly. Of course she knew that was impossible. As an SS level talent, how could she be stumped by a single-player job transfer copy of level 4? There is no precedent in history. Not to mention, her leveling up speed is much faster than others. There is really no way to catch up with her level. Do you really think she can be taken advantage of by you so easily? Just take a look at it, but you still want to take action. I can't beat you to death. However, I like to challenge impossible things the most. Seeing that she was so proud, Qin Yun was not going to admit defeat. He nodded seriously. Okay, this is what you said, then it's a deal. Ha, Zhang Yu was a little confused, and for a moment he didn't know where his confidence came from. Hey, you don't think you can catch up with my level, do you? Wake up, stop dreaming. Are you serious? She suddenly panicked, and didn't know why. Seeing his confident look, her tone couldn't help but be a little nervous. I was just joking with you. I'm not kidding you. Qin Yun raised his eyebrows and said with a serious expression, just wait and see. Quote. You want to bluff me. Soon, Zhang Yu calmed down and seemed to understand his trick. Ha, I almost fell into your trap. Okay, I'll wait. She wants to see, what confidence do you have? If you have the ability, try to surpass me. If you can really do it, then it doesn't matter if I promise you. It's like being rubbed by a pig's hooves. Okay. In response, Qin Yun only replied one word, his tone full of confidence. He is indeed very confident, but that does not mean that he is really confident that he can catch up with her level and achieve a lead. It is really impossible for level 25 to surpass level 73 unless she gets stuck. However, if you change the angle, it doesn't seem impossible. Because, as long as you successfully conquer the 100th floor of the mysterious tower and unlock the level cap, wouldn't you have a chance? By then, he will definitely be at the same level as her. They are both level 100 and they are on the same starting line. As long as the next level reaches the next level faster than her, that's fine, right? He is not an S-level talent, but a hidden SSS level. He is also particularly good at defeating monsters and leveling up alone, and is not afraid of anyone's challenge. In this way, she is determined to break through the 100th floor of the mysterious tower. After all her hard work, isn't she trying to conquer herself and take the initiative to deliver the goods to her door? If you think about it from this perspective, this joke-like bet becomes very funny. I don't know if she will become angry when the time comes. Thinking of this, Qin Yun almost laughed out loud, as if he saw her trying to dig a hole with humming sounds, and finally accidentally burying herself. That kind of cute behavior was very interesting. Why are you laughing? Zhang Yu stared at him suspiciously, always feeling like he was having some crooked idea. No, I remembered something happy. Qin Yun tried his best to hold back his laughter and shook his head firmly. He must not say such a thing. Well, mainly because I'm afraid of getting beaten. At the same time, on the other side, there was a certain coffee shop. Xiao Yuer is recruiting potential newcomers for the Tower Demolition Team Guild, and the person she is meeting this time is Ling Shuier from S-level talent. This girl who was transferred to the hidden combat profession, Frost Mage, is not only beautiful, but is known as the new generation school beauty of Kyoto University. She also has great potential, and has been spotted by many guilds. In the past 2 days, Ling Shuier has also been busy dealing with the olive branches offered by major guilds. Xiao Yuer invited her several times before she finally got around to it and agreed to meet her here. However, facing Xiao Yuer's kind invitation, Ling Shuier's reaction was a bit dull, and she didn't seem to be moved by her sincerity. Xiao Yuer was a little helpless about this. In fact, she had expected it. Because, compared with those large guilds, their tower-destroying team guild is only at level 6, which is not considered outstanding. Even if it offers good conditions, it still seems a bit weak in competitiveness. What's more, she also investigated Ling Shuier's information and knew that her father, Ling Yi, was born in the Shengxi Guild back then. If there were no accidents, this proud girl like Ice and Snow should also choose to join the Shengxi Guild, right? Xiao Yuer had received relevant information a long time ago and knew that people from the Shengxi Guild had also sent an invitation to Ling Shuier yesterday, and it was Sun Zhengyang who came forward in person. The reason why she was still invited to join the guild was because of the last glimmer of hope. For this reason, Xiao Yuer prepared a lot of rhetoric and tried to persuade the other party, but it seemed that she still failed. Ling Shuier obviously showed little interest. Unless she has the authority and courage of the president, and directly invites her with a high-level management position, maybe she will be seriously considered, right? But she did not get Zhang Yu's authorization. She was only a senior manager and was not qualified to make such a promise. Just when Xiao Yuer sighed in her heart and was about to give up recruiting Ling Shui, suddenly, her expression changed, and an important reminder popped up on her personal career panel. The guild you belong to has had an important position change. Qin Yun has been officially promoted to vice president. Single quote. Seeing this news, Xiao Yuer's eyes widened in surprise. What, president? She succeeded. Did she really invite Qin Yun to join the guild? Ha 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 ha, great, I must have a share of the credit. No, I am the biggest contributor. The temptation battle plan was proposed by me. I personally selected the outfit of my president for her. Although I just had the mentality of giving it a try, I didn't expect that it actually succeeded. Xiao Yuer instantly recovered from the negative emotions of failed recruitment and became cheerful. You know, Qin Yun's joining also represents the joining of another SS-level talent, the Holy Shield Knight Su Xiaoyu. This time, their tower demolition team guild suddenly had 2 SS levels. If we include Qin Yun, who has great potential, this S level with abnormal damage that is somewhat incomprehensible, plus his hidden combat profession, Shadow Assassin. As long as he and Amelia Su grow up, they can reach level 4 level 100. That can almost be called the Big Three of the future. The mysterious tower and the strongest strategy team that the president has always wanted to form has begun to take shape. Xiao Yuer is sure that the president of his family must be extremely excited now. No, I have to go back quickly. What's wrong, Miss Xiao? Ling Shuier also saw Xiao Yuer's emotional changes and didn't know what happened. Seeing the other party looking happy, something good must have happened, right? But it definitely had nothing to do with her, because the rejection she showed just now was already obvious, and she just couldn't say it directly. Ah, sorry. Xiao Yuer suddenly realized that she was still chatting with Ling Shui. Although she was on the verge of failure in recruiting, it was indeed a bit rude to ignore people so suddenly. So she immediately chose to apologize with a sincere attitude, because I just received an important message, I couldn't hold it back for a while. Please forgive me. Important news. Ling Shuier was a little curious. Well, it's just, Xiao Yuer originally didn't plan to reveal it, but then she thought about it and thought of the relationship between Amelia Su and the other party, and thought about it. I just learned that the SS-level genius freshman this year has decided to join our guild. SS-level genius freshman. Isn't that, Xiao Yu? Ling Shuier couldn't help but widen her eyes, as if she didn't expect this to be the case and was very surprised. That was her roommate, the captain of the 5-person team, and now the hot SS-level transcendent-level genius freshman, Su Xiaoyu. But she clearly hasn't said which guild she wants to join. They keep saying they are considering it. Huh, wait a minute, when I saw Xiao Yu in the dormitory last night, she seemed to be in a good mood and seemed to be looking forward to something. Could it be? Did she really agree to join your guild? Ling Shui was a little unbelievable, looking at Xiao Yuer, not quite able to understand. That was SS-level talent. Even Sun Zhengyang, the president of the Shengxi Guild, personally came to invite him to meet and promised a lot of favorable conditions, and even the position of future president. She actually wanted to choose to join a small and medium-sized guild. Who would have thought of this? Ah, well, yes, that's it. Of course Xiao Yuer knows that Amelia Su has not yet joined the Tower Demolition Team Guild, but that will be a matter of time. Qin Yun has already joined and became the vice president. With such a good relationship with him, is Amelia Su still far away from joining their guild? Hey, speaking of it, your relationship with Amelia Su and Qin Yun seems to be quite good. In the last battle for Secret Realm, you took the initiative to stand up and fight for him. Otherwise, try this method too. Miss Ling, I remember you and Qin Yun are friends. Xiao Yuer sat opposite Ling Shui, looking at her with a smile, trying to save her recruitment mission that was on the verge of failure. To be honest, he has also joined our guild, and is a vice president. What? This time, Ling Shuier was even more surprised. Qin Yun also joined you. Moreover, he is also the vice president. Is everything you said true? Of course, how could I say such things casually? Xiao Yuer nodded, with a serious expression on her face, and affirmed, in fact, it was precisely because of Qin Yun's joining that Amelia Su chose to join us, because she had already made an agreement with us to join Qin Yun. The same guild. The news I just received is that Qin Yun has joined our Tower Demolition Team Guild. So, Amelia Sue will join us soon. She explained with a smile. It was impossible to lie. Miss Ling, you and she are roommates. If you don't believe it, you can go back and confirm. Or, contact her now. Xiao Yuer's tone was very certain, and she was not afraid of being questioned at all. Ling Xuer was indeed a little skeptical, but seeing how confident and conclusive she was, she started to believe it. Okay, then I'll ask her now. But for the sake of safety, she decided to contact Amelia Sue and ask if it was true. Well, please. Xiao Yuer smiled slightly and raised her hand to signal. If possible, she could even contact Amelia Sue on her behalf to prove to her that what she said was true. She can guarantee that Amelia Sue will be very happy to hear the good news. In front of Xiao Yuer, Ling Xuer quickly contacted Amelia Sue. And the reply she got was, of course, a resounding yes. When Su Xiaoyu learned that Qin Yun had joined the Tower Demolition Team Guild, her tone became very happy, and she even wanted to run over to see Xiao Yuer, eager to join the guild immediately. No, Miss Su, I think our president will contact you soon, please don't worry. Of course Xiao Yuer also wants Amelia Sue to join in immediately, but this matter is not suitable for her to do. Zhang Yu is the most suitable, and she cannot overstep her authority. Okay, then I'll wait. Amelia Su's tone sounded very happy and looking forward to it. It's actually true. After hanging up the phone, Ling Xuer still looked shocked. She didn't expect that Amelia Sue would go to such an extent just to join the same guild as Qin Yun. Is her relationship with him already so good? Ling Xuer suddenly felt a little sour in her heart. Qin Yun. Has he really joined your guild? She raised her head and looked at Xiao Yuer, wanting to make final confirmation. Of course, I promise you. Xiao Yuer looked at her with a smile. Her eyes were very serious, and invited her again. Miss Ling, do you want to come together? This is her ultimate goal. It depends on how good Ling Xuer's relationship with Amelia Sue and Qin Yun is. Since Amelia Sue is willing to join the guild for Qin Yun, then maybe Ling Xuer will also. Okay, I'll join too. This time, Ling Xuer made a decision on the spot. She was indeed more inclined to join the Shengxi Guild. Even when she called her father yesterday, he also agreed with her joining the Shengxi Guild. He also specifically told her some connections and asked her to take the initiative to contact her. It would definitely be helpful to her future prospects. Development is beneficial. But now, she directly agreed to Xiao Yuer's invitation without any hesitation. Great. On behalf of all the members of the Tower Demolition Team Guild, I welcome Miss Ling to join us. Xiao Yuer smiled happily and extended her right hand to her. Boom, boom. After walking out of the headquarters building of the Tower Demolition Team Guild, Qin Yun raised his hand and summoned a heavy-duty motorcycle from his space backpack, which appeared on the roadside. He put on his helmet, turned over and stepped on it, twisting the accelerator excitedly, making a low roar. At this time, he was wearing the purple rare quality armor suit that he had just applied for. It had a very cool appearance, with a sense of mystery, and was more handsome than ordinary rider uniforms. He wasn't happy enough and couldn't bear to change back to ordinary clothes. Just now, he went to the training ground to test the simulated combat function, and found that his attributes were greatly improved by the transcendent level, and the damage was not too severe. Qin Yun already has the confidence to kill higher level monsters in the jungle with one blow, which greatly speeds up his leveling up. While today's double experience time has not been used, he now wants to go to the wild area and wreak havoc among the monsters. However, before that, he still has one thing to do. Qin Yun took out his mobile phone and called Qian Duoduo, asking them to wait at the school gate. Then he started the heavy-duty motorcycle and drove it back towards Kyoto University. He did not regret joining the Tower Demolition Team Guild, even though it was only level 6 and its strength in all aspects was not as good as the super-large Prosperity Guild of level 10 or above. However, Zhang Yu treated him very well and treated him quite well. Especially after becoming the vice president, he immediately received a lot of benefits, which were not too generous. He actually thought about it seriously. If you choose to establish your own guild, it will be too troublesome and lack of startup capital, making it difficult to grow and develop quickly. Even if he knows Qian Duoduo, a second-generation rich man, and is a good brother with him, and he can borrow money from him or invest in him, he will definitely have to go through Qian Duoduo's father's check and at least be inspected to see if he wants to invest in him. Qin Yun doesn't want to do this because there are too many chores that will affect his upgrade efficiency. As for which guild to choose is more suitable, if he is only an outstanding genius at S level, or even SS level, he will be more inclined to choose to join the Shengxi Guild, because it will be more stable and develop better. But he is a hidden SSS level talent, far beyond anyone's imagination. A very large guild like the Shengxi Guild has too many people, too many rules, and various regulations. Many things have even begun to solidify. Although the power is strong, it is sluggish. Moreover, the power structure within the guild is too complicated, with various factions and intrigues, which is destined to involve a lot of energy, and being involved is too troublesome. In comparison, it is obvious that the newly founded Tower Demolition Team Guild is more suitable for me. Those who want to ride horses slowly gain qualifications. I just want to reach the sky in one step and enjoy the rights of vice president, isn't it good? It is undoubtedly more appropriate to join the Tower Demolition Team Guild, become the vice president, and then work hard to build a future. Not to mention, I can become the guild president in the future and control the entire guild. Even if your term is up in more than 10 years, you can still be a senior figure, hiding behind the scenes and stirring up troubles. Qin Yun was very satisfied with this and was already looking forward to the future. On the top floor of the guild headquarters building, Zhang Yu stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows and couldn't help but smile as he watched the figure driving his heavy motorcycle disappear at the end of the street. She also took out her mobile phone and called Xiao Yuer. Hey, are you the president? I've finally waited for your call. Xiao Yuer on the other end of the phone was a little excited and seemed to know her purpose. I saw the reminder about the guild's position change. President, you have indeed successfully invited Qin Yun to join the guild. Well, he agreed. The excitement in Zhang Yu's heart has not passed yet, otherwise he would not have called Xiao Yuer specifically to share the joy. Hey, Xiao Yuer could also feel her mood, and her tone was equally exciting. President, look, I'm right. My seduction battle plan is really effective. I am a great hero. President, don't forget it. She began to ask for credit and rewards, with an impatient tone. HMPH, don't worry, I won't forget it. After hearing this, Zhang Yu just hummed softly in a faint tone. Your temptation battle plan, I really believed in your evil plan. She is obviously striving for it with all her strength, and she does not hesitate to express her determination to Qin Yun. What does it have to do with your ruined plan? She has already kept a small notebook and is waiting to come back with this little girl and settle the accounts with her. Well, Xiao Yuer, who was on the other end of the phone, suddenly felt something bad and shrank her neck. By the way, how are things going over there? Is it going well? Zhang Yu didn't want to scare her, fearing that she would just give up her burden and not come back, so she changed the subject and started talking about other topics. Well, report to the president, successfully completed the task. As expected, Xiao Yuer's attention was diverted, and she immediately said happily, originally, we almost failed, but the news from you, president, came too timely, so I had an idea and pulled Amelia Su and Qin Yun's big chi finally brought Ling Shuier into the guild. She was still proud of her wit at the time, and immediately shared her thoughts with her president, asking for credit and rewards. Oh, that's great. Sure enough, Zhang Yu learned about this and was very happy. Ling Shuier, who has S-level talent plus hidden combat profession, is also a newcomer she is very optimistic about, second only to Qin Yun and Amelia Su. It is of course very good to successfully recruit her. Also, President, you need to contact Amelia Su as soon as possible. Xiao Yuer had not forgotten the most important thing, and immediately reminded her, she knows that Qin Yun has joined our guild, and she can't wait. She wants to join right away. Okay, I'll contact you now, hang up now. Sure enough, when her president heard this, he immediately hung up the phone impatiently, so hurry up. Xiao Yuer was a little speechless listening to the busy tone on the phone. Woohoo, my president is really disdainful. She is obviously a great hero, why don't you care about her mood at all? Not even a word of praise. Isn't it too fast to burn bridges across the river? At the gate of Kyoto University, several people were standing here, somewhat bored. It's strange. Boss Chin called us out. What's going on? Yes, let's wait for him at the school gate. Why is there no one there? Maybe it's something about the guild, don't worry. Well, I should be back soon. Qian Duoduo, Meng Chao, and Zhao Qing were chatting away. They had been waiting here for several minutes. As he was talking, suddenly, a low roar of an engine came from a distance and was approaching at a fast speed. Huh, this voice is. Qian Duoduo's eyes suddenly lit up, and he seemed to recognize something. He turned his head and looked in a certain direction. Yes, this is a heavy-duty motorcycle. And it is a type with extremely strong performance. How do you know? Meng Chao and Zhao Qing also turned to look over. Soon, the figure of a heavy-duty motorcycle actually appeared at the end of the street. They were a little strange. Why could Qian Duoduo tell the difference? How does he understand so much? Hee, of course it's because I've also played with it. Qian Duoduo laughed and said with a proud expression, when I was in high school, I was addicted to it for a while. I liked playing Fast and Furious. I also collected several super cool heavy-duty motorcycles, which were very exciting to drive. What a big dog. Meng Chao and Zhao Qing looked at each other and decided to ignore him and let him show off quietly. It's a pity that they were all placed in the garage at home and were not brought over. Qian Duoduo shook his head with regret, and then he looked at the heavy-duty motorcycle that was speeding towards this direction, and his tone was a little surprised. However, this one seems a bit powerful, and the sounds really real. Let people get on top. I don't know what the price range is. Isn't it worth several million? He relied on his own experience to try to guess the origin of this heavy locomotive and squinted his eyes. Boom, boom. Just as he was wondering, the heavy motorcycle was getting closer and closer, letting out a low roar, and finally made a beautiful tail flick and stopped just in front of the three people. Its appearance had already attracted the attention of many people around it, and they all looked over with envy in their eyes. Because the shape of this heavy-duty motorcycle is so cool that it simply doesn't look good. The mechanical structure, the dark and domineering appearance, the flame-like decoration, and the rider riding on it, dressed in a cold outfit, are so handsome. Everyone watching, both boys and girls, were a little drunk. The girls' eyes were a little blurry and they were completely impressed by the handsomeness, but the boys' eyes were hot and they wanted to go up and touch this cool heavy-duty motorcycle, or even experience the excitement of driving it for themselves. Who isn't a big kid yet? Seeing such a cool thing, I just can't help it. Oh, long wait. In the eyes of everyone, the rider driving the heavy motorcycle took off his helmet and greeted Qian Duoduo and the others with a smile. Who is this handsome man if not Qin Yun? Boss Qin. Qian Duoduo, Meng Chao, and Zhao Qinghei's eyes widened instantly, and they all exclaimed, how could it be you? Why did Boss Qin become like this just after going out? Isn't this so handsome? Ah, Qin Yun was stunned for a moment. What do you mean it's me? Didn't I ask you to wait for me here? He glanced at the time and didn't let them wait long, it was only less than 10 minutes. This heavy-duty motorcycle actually belongs to you, boss. He's so handsome. And your outfit, couldn't this be a purple rare quality armor set? Let me go, Boss Qin, did you sell that legendary level equipment? The three of them looked at him up and down, and couldn't help but marvel. They even began to wonder where his money came from. They all know that Qin Yun's financial situation is not very good. He can't even afford rare quality purple armor. He is dressed in a haphazardly mixed blue outfit, and the appearance of the equipment is a bit inconsistent. Why did he drive such a transcendent level car today? Cool heavy motorcycle. Huh, what are you talking about? How could I sell legendary level equipment? Qin Yun was speechless by them. He raised his hand and patted the body of the heavy motorcycle and smiled proudly. This is the guild benefit I received after joining the guild. How about it, isn't it good? Join the guild. Boss Qin, have you already joined the guild? Qian Duoduo and the others stared at him with wide eyes, looking expectantly. Of course they knew that Qin Yun was going to meet with the president of a certain guild today, but they didn't expect that he would join directly. That's right, I'm the vice president now. Qin Yun grinned, nodded and asked, do you want to join? Of course yes. The three of them nodded repeatedly, already a little impatient to wait. However, before you join, I have something to tell you clearly. Qin Yun did not immediately invite them, but his expression became serious. What's the matter? Qian Duoduo and the others were a little confused, with question marks on their faces. Afterwards, Qin Yun told them the purpose of the Tower Demolition Team Guild, especially reminding them of the dangers of the mysterious tower. If they didn't want to join in because of that, he understood. How about it, do you still want to join? Qin Yun looked at the three of them and asked seriously. Of course we have to join. We believe in Boss Qin. However, after listening to his explanation, Qian Duoduo, Meng Chao and Zhao Qing had almost no hesitation. Is the 100th floor of the mysterious tower dangerous? Can't be resurrected? Yes, it is indeed true, the risk is very high. However, if you want to go in and challenge, you need to be at least level 100. Whether they can reach level 100 of level 4 is another question. Now that even Boss Qin has joined, what are you afraid of? Moreover, except for Zhao Qing from S-level talent, based on their talent and strength, they may not be able to be selected into the strongest strategy team formed by Zhang Yu. They may only be able to do some behind-the-scenes work, so there is no need to worry too much. Okay, let's come together then. Qin Yun nodded, opened the guild page of his personal career panel, made a few operations, and then sent an invitation to them. Qin Yun invites you to join the Tower Demolition Team Guild, do you agree? Please confirm, yes, no. Single quote. Upon seeing this, Qian Duoduo, Meng Chao and Zhao Qing immediately clicked the confirmation button without any hesitation. Qian Duoduo has joined this guild. Single quote. Meng Chao has joined this guild. Single quote. Zhao Qing has joined this guild. Single quote. Qin Yun's personal career panel guild page showed several reminders that the three of them had officially joined the Tower Demolition Team Guild. However, since they had just joined and were just ordinary members, they did not make such a big fanfare and directly send important reminders to all members of the guild like Qin Yun was promoted to vice president. Unless someone happens to be looking at the personnel change information on the guild page, they basically don't know. Although the Tower Demolition Team Guild is only at level 6, it has hundreds of people in total, which is not a small number. From now on, we will be comrades in the same guild. Qin Yun stretched out his right hand. Seeing this, Qian Duoduo, Meng Chao, and Zhao Qing also put their hands up one after another, with excited expressions. Good brothers, forever. The four of them looked at each other and laughed, feeling happy and proud. Qian Duoduo and Meng Chao are both A-level talents, and there may be no conditions for preferential treatment when joining the guild, but Zhao Qing is an S-level talent and still has great potential. Before leaving the guild headquarters, Qin Yun discussed with Zhang Yu in advance and reached an agreement. Therefore, he directly used his authority as the vice president to upgrade Zhao Qinghei's guild position from an ordinary member to a high-level member. When Zhao Qinghei's level rises in the future, he should be able to be promoted to an elite member, and even gain the attention of the guild and be appointed to senior management. His future is bright. As for Qian Duoduo and Meng Chao, well, they can only slowly improve their guild positions by upgrading their levels, completing guild tasks, and making continuous contributions. Neither of them cared about this, because A-level talents are so common in places like Kyoto University where geniuses gather, and they are basically everywhere. They have been mentally prepared for a long time, because even if they join other guilds, they still have to start as ordinary members, there is no difference. Qin Yun originally wanted to promote them to middle-level members, but that would not mean much at first, and it would also easily make them look at them in a strange way, thinking that they came through the back door, which would be detrimental to their situation in the guild. We are all newcomers to A-level talent. Why are we ordinary members and you become a middle-level member as soon as you join? They don't worry about the scarcity but the inequality. In this way, they are too easy to be hostile and isolated by others. Zhao Qing is different. He is an S-level talent, so he can receive preferential treatment. This is a recruitment rule set by the guild long ago, and others will not have any objections. Qin Yun said these words to Qian Duoduo and Meng Chao, and they both agreed very much. They decided to start from ordinary members and rely on their own strength to make people speechless. Boss Qin, we want to discuss with our former teammates to see if anyone is willing to join the guild with us. Qian Duoduo and Meng Chao looked at each other and said so. They have gotten along well with those teammates over the past month, and they would like to invite them to join the guild and continue to cooperate. Okay, As long as they want, that's fine. Qin Yun also has a good impression of those three people. They were willing to stand up and repay his kindness last time. They are very good characters. On the other hand, Zhao Qing, the team he joined last time, was a team of independents. Although they are all very powerful guys, they are not close to each other and may not agree to join. Therefore, Zhao Qing did not speak, knowing what he was talking about. Okay, then please pay attention. After joining the guild, you will gain experience. Remember to fight monsters and upgrade every day. Don't waste it. Qin Yun reminded them that the 3 hours of double experience every day should not be wasted in vain, because it will be reset every day and cannot accumulate time, so use it when you use it. Hey, I got it. Of course Qian Duoduo and the others also saw the prompt. When they first joined the guild, the large list of guild buffs made them very excited. Well, I'm going to fight monsters and level up first. After explaining the matter, Qin Yun didn't bother to enter the school. He directly got on the heavy motorcycle and planned to go to the wild area. Boom, boom. There was a low roar of an engine, and he drove a cool heavy-duty motorcycle and disappeared into the distance like a phantom. No, it's too handsome. I want to go home and bring my collection over too. Seeing this scene, Qian Duoduo was very envious and immediately made a decision. When the time comes, each of us brothers will drive a car and be the most handsome boy in the whole street. But he didn't know that Qin Yun's heavy-duty motorcycle was not an ordinary motorcycle, but a special vehicle. It was built by an S-level mechanical engineer and is extremely precious. Not only can it be run in the main city, but it can also be used in the wild areas. It has a protective value and can withstand monster attacks, and will not be easily damaged or scrapped. Qin Yun was driving a heavy-duty motorcycle at high speed in the wilderness. Its performance was very good. Even on some difficult steep slopes, as long as the angle was found, it could be easily driven up. It was full of horsepower. The long journey that originally took more than an hour has now been shortened to 10 minutes, which is really exciting. He first rushed to the spider cave and cleared all 3 dungeons. Then, with everyone's envious eyes on him, he drove a heavy motorcycle and set off for the more distant wild areas. So proud. Where did this rich second generation come from? If I read correctly, he should be riding a special vehicle, right? Of course, when an ordinary car reaches the wilderness, it becomes a living target. It will be scrapped after being attacked by monsters a few times. That's right, his gadget is worth at least several million. This heavy-duty motorcycle is so cool. I really want to try what it feels like to sit on it. It will definitely be fun. Don't think about it, just move bricks hard, work hard to save money, and everything will be fine. That's right, didn't you see that guy just went straight to the nightmare difficulty level? His equipment probably costs over 1 million, and it must be all purple rare quality. Yeah, I guess one piece of his equipment is almost equivalent to all our equipment. It can't be compared, it can't be compared. But I think he's not very old. How did he get so much money? Haha, wouldn't it be enough if I have a rich father? Maybe he fell in love with a rich woman. Or maybe he has a very high professional talent and is noticed by the big boss of the big guild. Well, it's possible. I heard that there was a talented freshman at SS level and transcendent level this year. He was indeed taken seriously by all the major guilds. It is said that even the president of the Shengxi Guild came here in person. Shengxi Guild, could it be that Sun Zhengyang and President Sun? That's right. Wow, that's a big shot. He's actually here, it's really incredible. Hey, the gap between people is so envious. But, how did I hear that this year's SS level transcendent level genius freshman is a female? Ah, then I don't know. Everyone in Spider Mountain exchanged the gossip they had heard with each other, and the conversation was lively. They were extremely envious of Qin Yun who had just left. Boom, boom. The low roar spread wantonly in the vast and uninhabited wilderness. Many wild monsters were alarmed along the way and tried to rush over to attack, but they were left far behind and only deserved to eat the flying dust. Qin Yun took off his helmet directly, his hair flying, enjoying the strong wind brought by the speed, and he was in a very happy mood. Although roads cannot be built in wild areas, causing the road conditions to be a bit uneven, which is equivalent to the natural wilderness, the performance of this heavy-duty motorcycle is still able to run very fast and achieve lightning speed. Except for the steep slope, there are basically no obstacles that can prevent it from moving forward quickly. Its pair of large front and rear tires have very strong grip. Driven by the powerful engine, it spins and rolls very fast, leaving a clearly visible mark on the dirt. Quick, powerful, cool. Qin Yun loved this feeling and enjoyed it very much. It would be even more perfect if there could be a white rabbit girl sitting in the back. It would be the pinnacle of life. Chapter 101. Driving a cool heavy-duty motorcycle, Qin Yun moved forward with great speed and excitement. He had already investigated the monster-level distribution area in the wild area outside the city, and rushed directly towards the location of the intended target. The speed was extremely fast, and it was much better than walking on two legs before. Unless he encountered some insurmountable obstacles, he would not take any turns and would just drive his heavy motorcycle over them, charging all the way without any inhibitions. Even if the monsters in the nearby wild area were alerted, they could not catch up with him and were left far behind. They could only howl helplessly. Suddenly, a huge monster appeared in front of him. It was the level 38 tusk demon elephant. It was right in front of Qin Yun. If he didn't turn to avoid it immediately, he might have collided directly with it. Moo! The giant tusked demon elephant also noticed Qin Yun's invasion. He raised his trunk, raised his head to the sky and neighed, then rushed towards Qin Yun with its sharp and huge tusks. Every step it takes is like beating a drum, and the ground is shaking, almost like a large truck weighing dozens of tons, menacing. Humph, this is my beloved little motorcycle. Of course Qin Yun also saw the giant-toothed demon elephant. His eyes turned cold. How could I be willing to let you crash it? Even if it has protection value, it will not be damaged by you, but what if you scratch it and get scratches? Do you pay? Flash. He decisively took out his dagger, flashed from the farthest distance, and appeared on top of the giant-toothed demon elephant. Tear and cut. Immediately afterwards, he fell from the sky and used a level 15 general skill, which struck hard on the giant-toothed demon elephant's head. The dagger penetrated deeply, and then dragged it left and right, cutting out a cross on its forehead. Crossed horror wounds. Minus 65,184. An astonishing damage value floated out from the head of the giant-toothed demon elephant, which was simply not something it could withstand. Moo! The giant-toothed demon elephant let out a shrill scream and lost its ferocious power. It fell to the ground on the spot and was instantly killed by him with one move. Then, Qin Yun flashed again and returned to the still-moving heavy-duty locomotive, as if he had never left. Then he put away the dagger, grasped the handle again with both hands, saw the opportunity, and stood up suddenly to lift it up. The next second, the heavy locomotive flew directly over the body of the giant-toothed demon elephant, drew a beautiful parabola in midair, landed again, and then continued forward without any delay. It's just a level 38 tusk demon elephant. You don't even care about your body. How dare you block any car? I'm afraid I don't know how to write the word, death. Qin Yun snorted lightly and left the scene of the tragic car accident gracefully without giving it a second glance. He didn't even bother to pick up the materials it exploded. Because it must be ordinary materials that are worthless, there is no need to get out of the car to take a look. He is rich now. Well, his status is different. Although the balance of his wallet has not changed much, he can afford to drive a special vehicle worth more than 10 million yuan, wear purple rare quality supreme grade equipment, and is also the vice president of a guild. He is no longer the same as he was yesterday. Same thing. If you don't believe it, just take a look at his current personal career attribute panel and you will know. Account ID XX100866XX9527. Character name Qin Yun. Occupation Shadow Assassin, God-Killing Assassin. Talent level S level, SSS level. Awakening 1 turn. Level 25. Life 13,959. Physical strength 2,750. Attack power 3,950. Physical defense 2,463. Magic defense 2,242. Strength 627. Physique 1069. Agile 1988. Endurance 1039. Intelligence 571. Attack speed 1.3. Hit 100%. Dodge 15%. Resistance 50%. Critical hit 35%. Critical damage, 200%. General skills, combo, fatal deep stab, invisibility, tearing cut, backstab, sap. Awakening skills, shadow blade, god killing blade, delusion breaking eye. Equipment, weapon, pale blade, head nightcrawler hood. Clothes nightcrawler suit, pants nightcrawler leather pants. Gloves nightcrawler gloves, shoes nightwalker boots. Pendant ogre's bloodthirsty pendant, waist ornament phantom emblem. Ring of swiftness, ring of swift wind. This is Qin Yun's current personal attribute panel. It's very explosive and should not be too gorgeous. Of course, this result has already taken into account the bonus of the guild's gain status, and is not the basic attribute. Except for weapons and pendants, all other equipment has been replaced. The shotguns are directly replaced with cannons, which is a huge improvement. Well, the detailed attributes of the specific equipment are not worth the number of words. Anyway, it is very awesome. It is the best level 20 purple rare quality supreme grade equipment that he can wear at this stage. Of course, the greatest contribution among them is the pale blade, which has been upgraded to the purple rare quality 5-star limit. Name, Pale Blade, Soul Binding, 1/2. Type, Weapon. Grade, Rare. Star rating, 5 stars. Level requirement, Level 20. Occupation requirements, Assassin. Wearing requirements, Agility 240 points or above. Attribute effect, Attack power plus 2100. Strength plus 460. Constitution plus 460. Agility plus 470. Stamina plus 460. Intelligence plus 460. Critical hit plus 15%. Critical damage plus 50%. Special effect. 1. Infinite evolution. It can swallow weapons of the same quality and type, improve its own quality attributes, and grow infinitely. 2. Soul shatter. Every time you kill an enemy, you can randomly obtain 1 to 10 points of soul energy, which can be stored indefinitely. When this skill is actively released, it will cause real damage to the enemy equal to the current number of soul energy points, regardless of defense, shield, and damage reduction, damage transfer, invincibility and injury avoidance. Currently stored soul energy, 76,418 points. 3. Flash. When you actively release this skill, you can move to the target location instantly, with a maximum distance of 50 meters. Each movement will consume a little energy, and a little energy will be automatically restored every 10 minutes. Current energy points, 8/10. 4. All I can say is that its attributes are so powerful that they far surpass other purple rare daggers of the same quality. Especially its special effect, Instant Flash, has simply enhanced Qin Yun's strength by more than one level. It can make him appear elusive, making the enemy unable to detect him. 10 teleportation opportunities are enough to become a nightmare for the enemy. Even dozens of people will not be his opponent. They will only be killed one by him, and there is absolutely no way to deal with him. If he wanted to, he could even kill 10 times in a row in a blink of an eye, and completely overwhelm the whole audience. He was so handsome. Well, the next step is to avoid the opponent's control skills, otherwise, I'm afraid you will get beaten. In addition, another special effect, Broken Soul, has also stored a lot of soul energy. This is the result of his hard work for more than a month. Although it accumulates slowly, it increases steadily and can be accumulated every day. More than 2,000 points each. Now there are more than 70,000. Once he is hit, the damage will be very high, not much worse than the damage of his skills. But Qin Yun will not throw it away casually. After all, this thing is very slow to accumulate, and it is not worth using it on ordinary monsters. He still has to choose a suitable target to maximize the benefits and avoid wasting it. Just when Qin Yun, driving a heavy motorcycle, finally arrived at the planned target area and was about to start fighting monsters and upgrading, suddenly, an important reminder popped up on the personal career panel. The guild you belong to has an important position change, and Amelia Sue has been officially promoted to vice president. Single quote. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Upon seeing this news, Qin Yun expressed his confusion. What the hell? Why is there another vice president? Moreover, it is actually Amelia Sue, a girl who is afraid of SS level clubs. Why did she also join the Tower Demolition Team Guild? Was he promoted to vice president? Ah, was I demoted? Qin Yun quickly took a look at the guild page and found that his position was still vice president, and he breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he is still the vice president, so he doesn't have to worry about his beloved motorcycle being taken back. If you haven't owned it, you don't know how good it is. He doesn't want to rely on his legs to travel. Well, speaking of it, it is indeed impossible for a 6th-level medium-sized guild to have only one vice president. Other large guilds have at least 5 or 6 vice presidents, and very large guilds like the Shengxi Guild even have as many as 8 or 9. In other words, the new guild founded by Zhang Yu, such as the Tower Demolition Team, has only been established for 4 years. It has a small number of members, has not yet developed and grown, and has a relatively simple power structure. Well, it means that she has to do everything herself, such as cooking, mopping the floor, and washing clothes, so the upper management can help her share some of the burden. For example, Xiao Yuer, the director of the logistics department, etc. Qin Yun touched his chin and became a little curious. He is not worried about his guild status, because he is the next president appointed by Zhang Yu, and it is basically impossible for him to run away. He was just a little surprised. Why did Amelia Su, a SS-level talent, choose to join the Tower Demolition Team Guild? It can't be because the conditions are too good, right? Even if Zhang Yu promised her to be the vice president, it would still be far inferior to the favorable conditions offered by major guilds. SS-level talents Su Xiaoyu, even the Shengxi Guild attaches great importance to her, and even directly said that she will be selected as a candidate for the next president. Just as Sun Zhengyang promised him, it is entirely possible, and it is very big. After all, she is SS level and has great potential. Strange, what on earth did she think? Qin Yun raised his eyebrows. Suddenly, a thought came to his mind. Could it be, because of me? Otherwise, as soon as he joined the guild, Amelia Su followed him. This is such a coincidence. Could it be that after he left the guild headquarters, Zhang Yu immediately went to meet her, right? Then, she agreed directly. Well, forget it, stop guessing, just call and ask. Should she be with Zhang Yu now? Only Zhang Yu has the authority to directly promote her to vice president. Qin Yun took out his mobile phone and dialed Amelia Su's number. He was really curious. Brother Qin Yun. Sure enough, Amelia Su was really with Zhang Yu, and Qin Yun even heard her voice. Look, I said he will definitely call. Well, you actually dare to bet on him. It turns out you're the one doing it. Hee, brother Qin Yun, you and I have joined the same guild. Facing Qin Yun's proactive contact, Amelia Su was very happy, her tone became cheerful, and she quickly explained the reason. Well, it's really surprising. Qin Yun also didn't expect that his joining would actually affect Amelia Su's decision and make her agree to the invitation from the Tower Demolition Team Guild. He couldn't help but be a little touched. He didn't expect Amelia Su to care about him so much. It seemed that he still cared too little about her. She has never taken the initiative to ask her which guild she wants to join, but has been considering her own choice. Qin Yun listened to the joy on the other end of the phone and began to reflect on himself silently. However, this is actually good news. Amelia Su's joining was simply the best thing for him. Because he has had evil intentions towards her for a long time. Ah no, thinking about it in his heart. Ah no, dreaming about it. Ah no, he has other intentions. Ah, well, forget it. In short, with the addition of this SS-level Holy Shield Knight, the future strategy team finally has a safe guarantee. Unexpectedly, Zhang Yu was so far-sighted and knew how to plan ahead, and knew that he must draw Amelia Su into the guild. No, wait, he thought of that woman Zhang Yu's sudden appointment again today, and he felt anxious, and she was dressed so well. It hit his weak spot accurately. Could it be that she had already planned it? Gee, you really can't underestimate it. Qin Yun talked to Amelia Su for a while, and was very happy that she had joined the guild. He made an appointment to meet her when he went back, and then hung up the phone. Before putting away his phone, he suddenly remembered another thing. He opened his address book and found a certain number. Well, I almost forgot, today is the last day, and he has to give a clear answer to Sun Zhengyang and President Sun who invited him to join the Shengxi Guild. Qin Yun. When he finally received a call from him, Sun Zhengyang's tone didn't sound very excited. President Sun, I'm sorry, I have decided not to join your guild. Qin Yun told the other party his decision. Thank you very much for your attention to me. Okay, I get it. Sure enough, Sun Jungyang was not surprised by this. He seemed to have received the news a long time ago. You have joined Zhang Yu's Tower Demolition Team Guild, right? Right, Qin Yun did not deny it. He knew that these big guilds were very well informed. During this special period of recruiting new people, they all kept a close eye on each other. The fact that he had joined the Tower Demolition Team Guild would definitely not be hidden from them. But he still has to make this call because it is a sign of respect for others. Congratulations to Mr. Qin, I wish you a bright future and reach the top 100 as soon as possible. Sun Jungyang was not angry. Instead, he congratulated him and sent his congratulations sincerely. Okay, Chairman Cheng Sun Jian. Qin Yun returned the courtesy and responded politely. I also wish President Sun's Shengxi Guild will develop better and better. The two parties chatted briefly before hanging up the phone. Climb 100. Qin Yun looked at the number on his phone and couldn't help but shook his head. It seems that Zhang Yu is right. President Sun is not courageous enough. His subconscious has long believed that level 100 is the limit for career changers. But what does this have to do with him? Anyway, I have joined the Tower Demolition Team Guild, so I have a better choice. In the future, you must go through the 100th floor of the mysterious tower and unlock a higher level cap. Qin Yun put his phone back into his space backpack, secretly made up his mind, and then looked at the wild monster not far away. Well, let's work hard to upgrade first. Set a small goal first, reach level 40 as quickly as possible, and challenge the second round. What Qin Yun didn't know was that Sun Jungyang was actually far less calm and indifferent than he thought. He looked at the hung-up mobile phone and clutched it tightly, his mouth twitching in distress. Zhang Yu, you crazy woman, why do you always linger? He couldn't help but cursed and almost dropped his phone on the ground. He is obviously a good prospect with a promising future, so why did he believe in your evil deeds and want to break into some mysterious tower? It doesn't matter if you are crazy yourself, why do you want to drag others along? Such good talents, great future, and bright prospects are all gone. Just when Sun Jungyang finally recovered and calmed down, his cell phone suddenly rang again and he pressed the connect button. Guild President, it's bad. The SS level Holy Shield Knight we are optimistic about has joined the Tower Demolition Team Guild. What did you say? Upon hearing the news, Sun Jungyang was completely shattered. Click. This time, Chairman Sun's cell phone was really unprotected and was smashed into pieces. But this was not the final blow, because not long after, a certain subordinate who had been unable to get through on the phone came to Sun Jungyang anxiously and told him another bad news. Guild President, Ling Shuier, the S-level talent with hidden combat profession, rejected our invitation and joined another guild. Puff. This knife was inserted directly into Sun Jungyang's chest. He almost vomited 3 liters of blood and asked in a trembling tone, She joined, which guild? A bad premonition filled his mind, like some kind of lingering shadow. It's the Tower Demolition Team Guild. The subordinate looked at Sun Jungyang's expression and answered cautiously. Cough. Zhang Yu. Sun Jungyang covered his chest and almost couldn't breathe. You know, Ling Shuier is an outstanding talent that he has high hopes for. Although it is not as abnormal as another S-level hidden combat profession, it is still far better than other S-level geniuses. Moreover, her father Ling Yi also has a close relationship with the Shengxi Guild. During the last appointment, he could tell that she was very interested in joining the Shengxi Guild. It was almost a certainty. Unexpectedly, just 2 days later, she would turn around and join another guild. Sun Jungyang was sure that Zhang Yu and the others must have done something to make Ling Shuier change her mind and join the Tower Demolition Team Guild. At this time, the top 3 with the strongest potential in this year's session have all been acquired by the Tower Demolition Team Guild. Instead, his Grand Age Guild, which is obviously a super large guild and the best in the country, has not recruited any of them. This is simply the biggest humiliation he has suffered after being the president for so many years. It's over. SS-level Holy Shield Knight Su Xiaoyu is gone, S-level Shadow Assassins Qin Yun is gone, and even S-level Frost Mages Ling Shuier is gone. The new generation of talents often means the future of a guild. Zhang Yu's Tower Demolishing Team Guild is indeed the biggest competitor of his prosperous age guild in the future. Sun Zhengyang lamented in his heart, his mentality completely broken. In the wild area outside the city, Qin Yun came to his intended destination area. The wild monsters here were very suitable for him to fight monsters and upgrade. He raised his hand to put his beloved heavy motorcycle back into his space backpack, then pulled out the dagger and held it in his hand. The wild monster in front looks like a supergiant one-horned insect. It is as big as a calf. Not only does it have a sharp and ferocious horn, but its forelimbs are also sharp sickles like a mantis. Looks very threatening, very aggressive, and very difficult to mess with. Qin Yun first approached it and threw a detection scroll at it out of habit. Name: Giant Scythe One-Horned Rhinoceros Beetle. Level 46. Life: Attack Power, Physical Defense, Magic Defense, Skill, well, apart from the level and name, it's all a big question mark. It's impossible to detect the specific attributes because the level difference between the two sides is too far. However, Qin Yun did not panic at all, because he had already tested it with the simulated actual combat function at the training ground of the guild headquarters. With his current attack power, he could kill many levels of ordinary wild monsters in one blow with a normal attack. The final result of the test is that around level 46, you can easily kill monsters beyond level 21. Because of the monster attributes of this level, the health value is about 20,000, and the defense power is around 1,400, which is the range of attribute values. Depending on the type of monster, there will be fluctuations, but generally it won't be too far off. The monster attribute panel at this level can be said to be very high. Even if they are only ordinary level wild monsters, they are comparable to some level 20 dungeon boss level bosses. They are not something that career changers in their 20s can afford to offend. Even a 5-man team will have a very difficult fight. If the equipment is poor or the cooperation is not good, it may even be overturned and wiped out. However, Qin Yun was not included. With his attack power, it is more than enough to kill them with one strike. If you spend your energy to use skills, then they will not be opponents, and there is no need to worry about overturning. Therefore, even if the result of detecting the scroll is a large number of question marks, he doesn't care, he already knows it. Then, let's get started. Double experience, start it. Qin Yun smiled slightly, opened the guild page of the personal attribute panel, found the double experience gain activation function, and clicked the confirmation button. 3 hours long, the countdown has begun. 2 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds. 2 hours 59 minutes and 58 seconds. The time was limited, and of course Qin Yun didn't want to waste it, so he immediately took action. He looked at the giant monster insect, and then, with a backstab, he appeared behind the giant monster insect and gave it a chrysanthemum thorn. Along with a sharp hissing sound, the strange insect's health bar disappeared instantly and it fell to the ground. Congratulations on killing a level 46 giant scythe-horned rhino beetle and gaining experience points. He glanced at the progress bar of experience points and found that the amount of experience points was quite considerable, far exceeding his previous efficiency of killing monsters by more than 10 levels. Of course, this is only because of the double experience gain that there is such a big increase. Very good, a little more than I expected. Qin Yun smiled with satisfaction, closed the personal attribute panel, looked at another strange insect in the distance with surprise, and immediately stepped forward and rushed over. In this way, he began his journey of fighting monsters and upgrading, wreaking havoc in this area, seizing every minute and every second. Congratulations on killing a level 46 giant scythe-horned rhinoceros beetle and gaining experience points. Congratulations on killing a level 46 giant scythe-horned rhinoceros beetle and gaining experience points. Congratulations on the kill. His experience value progress bar is rising rapidly at an alarming speed, which is very gratifying. 3 hours later, Qin Yun had already killed all the way from the area where the giant monster insect was active to the area where another kind of wild monster is distributed. It spanned dozens of miles, leaving a bloody mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. It wasn't until the countdown to double experience ended that he finally stopped killing and took a break. Haha, not bad, not bad. Qin Yun opened the personal attributes panel again, took a look at the progress bar of experience points, and found that it had increased by 19.6%, which was more than the previous exhaustion of fighting all afternoon. You know, originally he had beaten monsters at more than 10 levels, plus 3 nightmare difficulty dungeons, and the upgrade efficiency was less than 15% in one day, only 14 points. If you want to level up, it will take at least 6 or 7 days, and a month is just over level 4. But now, just by turning on double experience and slaying monsters for 3 hours, I have gained nearly 20% of the experience value progress bar, which is not unpleasant. It only takes 5 days for him to level up, which shortens the time by nearly 2 days and increases the efficiency by nearly 30%. Moreover, this is not the limit, because he only spent 3 hours today, and he can continue to fight monsters and upgrade for another 3 or 4 hours. Although there will only be normal experience points and no double experience gain, there will still be at least about 10% progress. If you include 5 times the experience of 2 hours per week, the upgrade efficiency will only be higher. In other words, as long as he is willing to be a leveling madman and grind monsters every day, he can level up in about 3 days. After 1 month, it will be level 10. He is currently at level 25, and will be able to reach level 40 in a month and a half. This was a huge change because he joined the guild and received various benefits. I changed into a more powerful purple rare quality equipment, and replaced the shotgun with a cannon. I can easily kill higher level wild monsters with 1 blow. I have surpassed more than 20 levels and gained more experience, plus the gain of double experience. Only then did we successfully double the efficiency of killing monsters and upgrading. As a result, the second turn is not far away from him. According to this upgrade speed, it only takes him less than half a semester to challenge the second transfer. Compared with those freshmen who can only reach the threshold of the second transfer at the end of the first semester, he doesn't know how many times faster. He wanted to ask now, who else? In the next few days, Qin worked hard to defeat monsters and upgrade, not wanting to waste time. But there are always some things he must do, such as meeting and chatting with Amelia Sue. After all, she is willing to join the Tower Demolition Team Guild for him. This incident touched him quite a bit, and he became more fond of her. In order to form the strongest strategy team in the future, he needed to have a good relationship with this SS-level Holy Shield Knight, even if he didn't know him originally. Not to mention, Amelia Sue has such a close relationship with him. Not only are they comrades and partners in the same guild, but they also almost worship him. He couldn't resist calling him Brother Qin all day long. He would occasionally call her to have a casual chat and listen to her troubles. In fact, he also likes this social phobic girl, and is trying to help her change her low self-esteem and social phobic personality, making her more sunny and cheerful, at least less afraid of strangers. However, the gains were minimal. When facing others, Amelia Sue would still shrink and always dare not speak loudly. She would only answer when others asked her, and she didn't dare to look at others. She behaved a little better when she was with him. She said that with him by her side, she would feel more at ease and have peace of mind in her heart. The feeling of dependence. In this regard, Qin could only feel helpless and hope that she would get better in the future. In addition, there is a lot of money in their business. Unfortunately, they were a step late. They originally planned to invite their former teammates to join the Tower Demolition Team Guild, but unexpectedly, 2 of the 3 of them had already agreed to the invitation of other guilds and joined other guilds. They could not promise them no more. Well, one of them was a priest girl. She was spotted by a certain guild on the first day and was recruited. The other one was the swordsman who had protected her. He was attracted by another guild. He only considered it for a day before agreeing to the other party's invitation. Only the shield warrior was left, still hesitating. Qian Duoduo and Meng Chao happened to come to the door, and he readily agreed on the spot. Qin did not hesitate and directly used the authority of the vice president to invite him to join the guild. Well, it's worth mentioning that this shield fighter's name is Huang Xin. However, he is not as rich as Qian Duoduo. He does not have much gold, but he comes from an ordinary family. Now, Qian Duoduo, Meng Chao, Zhao Qing, and Huang Xin are trying to seduce a new priest girl among the new people recruited by the Tower Demolition Team Guild this year. I heard that they already have a target. That's right, Zhao Qing also joined Qian Duoduo and Meng Chao's team and became the responsible one for output. With the addition of him as an S-level contract summoner, Qian Duoduo's team's overall strength has become stronger than before. There is also the matter of Ling Shui'er joining the Tower Demolition Team Guild. When Qin Yun learned about this, he was also surprised. He didn't know why she chose the Tower Demolition Team Guild. She obviously had a better choice. Her S-level talent plus hidden combat profession, Frost Mage, is enough to make all the major guilds fight for her head. But then I thought about it, maybe it was because Amelia Su joined this guild that she chose to join it, right? After all, she and Amelia Su were on the same team before, and they were also roommates. They got along pretty well, so they should have a good relationship. Moreover, Amelia Su is an SS-level talent and a Holy Shield Knight, which is very suitable for her as a crispy Frost Mage. It can protect her and allow her to do her best. How could Qin Yun have imagined that Ling Shui'er, the new generation campus beauty of Kyoto University, would actually join because of him? Of course, Amelia Su is also very happy about this, because she can continue to be teammates with Ling Shui'er. I heard that even 3 other teammates were invited by Amelia Su to join in and form a team with her, without any changes in the personnel. Well, it's probably because Amelia Su's social phobia relapsed, and she didn't dare to bring strangers in to be her teammates, so she looked for acquaintances. Zhang Yu obviously recommended several S-level newcomers to her, with better talents, more violent output, and more powerful treatments, but she still rejected them. In this regard, Qin Yun did not interfere, as long as she was happy. Anyway, her 3 teammates should be happy to continue hugging her thigh. This is their luck. About a week later, the recruitment was finally over, and basically all the freshmen had their own choices. The Tower Demolition Team Guild also stopped recruiting new members and recalled all its members to hold a grand welcome party for these newcomers at the guild headquarters. As the champion of this freshman competition and the most eye-catching figure, Qin Yun will of course be invited to the stage. What's more, as soon as he joined the union, he was promoted to vice president by Zhang Yu, which made the old members even more interested in him. On the same day, Qin Yun and Amelia Su both showed up on stage once. Under the personal introduction of Zhang Yu, the president, they made their debut and were recognized by everyone in the Tower Demolition Team Guild, and they had a deep impression on him from then on. There is no way, he is so handsome and very recognizable. Once you have seen him in person, it will be difficult to forget him. You will recognize him immediately the next time you see him. On the contrary, Amelia Su stood on the stage without saying a word. She was just another bean sprout. She was thin and small, very inconspicuous, and did not leave much impression on everyone. For those who don't know, they might think that Qin Yun is the SS level 1, and she is just the S level talent 1. This is all because the light on Qin Yun's body is too strong, covering up her true SS level Holy Shield Knight, making her somewhat invisible to everyone. Of course, Amelia Su didn't have any dissatisfaction with this. Instead, she thought it was good because she didn't want to get too many people's attention. Moreover, she watched Qin Yun stand on the stage and introduce himself generously. His conversation was humorous, and his whole person seemed to be shining, which was very attractive. She couldn't bear to look away, let alone the people in the audience. Seeing Qin Yun like this, Zhang Yu, as the president, became even more convinced that he could be a good vice president or even president in the future. He has such a charming personality that makes people want to follow him. It is very shining. Even though he was only in his 20s, even if his talent was only S level, no old member dared to question him, or question Zhang Yu's decision to promote him to vice president, and they all accepted this fact very calmly. Even though some of them are stronger and have even reached the 3rd level, they are at the same level of awakening as Zhang Yu. This was due to Zhang Yu's prestige as the president, and also because Qin Yun was indeed outstanding and would not be looked down upon. Being able to break the previous points record in the Secret Realm competition and win the championship of the freshman competition has proven Qin Yun's potential. Not to mention, the vice president, in full view of everyone, instantly killed a 5-man team of S-level competitors with one move, showing his strong dominance among the freshmen of the same class. Back then, only President Zhang Yu would have performed so well. And now, President Zhang Yu is the person that everyone in the guild believes in, admires and awe from the bottom of their hearts. They are all from Kyoto University, so of course they understand the gold content and how terrifying Qin Yun's potential is. In a few years, this vice president will be able to grow up and even surpass them now. Therefore, naturally there will be no one who is ignorant and openly provocative, questioning this and doubting President Zhang Yu's decision. The atmosphere has always been very harmonious, loving and fun. After the tower demolition team's guild headquarters made a public appearance, Qin Yun continued to devote himself to crazy monster fighting and upgrading. He did not relax for a day. He did not stay at the guild headquarters all day long just because he became the vice president. Be a blessing. Because he knows that his own strength is the foundation of everything. No matter how talented you are, no matter how much you are favored by others, it is better to transform your potential into real strength. Soon, his level quickly rose too. Time flies. Half a month later, Qin Yun successfully rose to level 30 and learned a new general assassin skill. Level 30 General Skill Sealing the Throat. Throat Seal. A precise assassination technique, delivering a swift blow to the enemy's throat, causing 200% physical damage to the enemy, and putting the enemy into a silent state, unable to release skills, lasting for 5 seconds. Well, this is a powerful skill that balances damage and control. The damage coefficient is not low, and it also has the special effect of silencing enemies. At certain critical moments, it can play a great role and even turn the tide of the battle. The enemy can only attack normally and cannot use skills within 5 seconds. This is obviously very powerful and can be regarded as the key core skill of the assassin profession. However, for Qin Yun, who was dealing huge damage, it really had little effect. Because ordinary monsters can't withstand his damage at all and can be killed instantly with one move. Those who can withstand his damage are often only those dungeon bosses with leader-level templates and super thick health defense. However, they are born with their own hegemony and can be immune to most control skills. Therefore, this core skill, which is obviously very powerful, seems a little less useful to Qin Yun. To be honest, it would be better to give him a pure output skill with a higher damage coefficient to increase his combat power. However, since reaching level 20, the general assassin skills he has learned have changed from pure output skills to semi-output skills with control. If he wants to master pure output skills again, he must at least reach level 40 or above. Qin Yun had already learned the relevant knowledge about the assassin profession and was not surprised by this. Of course, just looking at the damage coefficient bonus, Throat Seal's 200% physical damage is actually higher than level 1's initial skill combo of 150%, and level 5's fatal deep stab of 180%. Therefore, if the tearing cut with a damage coefficient of 220% and the backstab with a damage coefficient of 250% are on cooldown, you can use it to replenish the damage, and it is not completely useless. Well, if the enemy can withstand the explosion of his set of skills. In this way, the skill of Throat Seal is at least stronger than the sap, whose damage coefficient is only 120% and can only be used in stealth state. Because the sap attack is only 20% more than the normal attack, which is almost negligible. Speaking of which, ever since he learned the sap, Qin Yun has never had a chance to use it. He has been eating dust and no one can use it. Alas, I am not an assassin at all. Regarding this situation, Qin Yun was also a little speechless. They were obviously very useful core assassin skills, but to him they were like useless, tasteless and a pity to abandon. But you can't blame him, he really doesn't need to control the enemy to fight, there's no need. It's all because his damage is too explosive, and there is no use for his control skills at all. If the profession on the personal attributes panel hadn't reminded him that he was an assassin, he would have thought he was a berserker. He rarely even used stealth, and kept running rampant, cutting down everything. Forget it, don't use it if you don't need it, it's not important. Who says assassins have to control the enemy and use a set of skills to cause explosive damage? As long as I can kill the enemy, I will be the strongest assassin. Qin Yun could only comfort himself in this way and was too lazy to dwell on it anymore. In fact, he also yearns for the kind of assassin who is elusive, can kill people instantly, and escape with one blow, because that is really handsome and showy, but if the enemy can be killed with one move, why do he have to throw in a set of skills? A true master can determine victory or defeat with one move, not only to differentiate between superior and inferior, but also to determine life and death. Therefore, I am a master. No rebuttal accepted. Qin Yun came to this conclusion and felt relieved immediately. He drove his beloved heavy-duty motorcycle back to the guild headquarters, came to the logistics department, and found Xiao Yuer, who was busy at work. Facing the equipment application form he handed over, Xiao Yuer looked confused. She took it and took a look, and was almost frightened to death. Have you reached level 30? She raised her head and stared at him with an expression of disbelief. You obviously just reached level 25 half a month ago. I remember it clearly. It has only been 15 days. Are you telling me that you have reached level 30? Did you upgrade by rocket? Normally, if you can reach level 27 now, it means you have been working hard to level up and are not lazy. As a result, you told me that you have reached level 30. Who dares to believe this? Even President Zhang Yu was not as fierce as you back then. You have just applied for a set of purple rare quality armor and accessories at level 20, and are you now applying for level 30? I suspect that you, the vice president, are deliberately abusing your authority and secretly reselling the guild's property. Of course, if you don't believe me, see for yourself. Qin Yun didn't bother to explain to her and directly showed his current level. Xiao Yuer had no choice but to believe the bright numbers. You know, with his current leveling efficiency, he can basically level up in 3 days, which is more than twice as fast as before joining the guild. When he first transferred, it took him a week to level up, but now with the guild's experience gain, double experience, crazy monster killing and leveling up, it only takes 3 days to level up. If it's not double experience or 5 times experience, he can only open one at the same time, and it can't be superimposed to become 10 times experience, otherwise his upgrade speed will be faster. All I can say is that this is really sad news. At that time, he had found a leveling location and was ready to concentrate on a wave of recklessness. However, he found that after turning on double experience, he wanted to turn on 5 times experience, but a prompt popped up telling him that he could only turn on one type at the same time. Disappointment. Therefore, he doesn't think it's surprising that he has only reached level 30 now. If double experience and 5 times experience can be superimposed and multiplied, he can at least reach level 30 a day or 2 earlier. Could it be that you have really awakened some talent skills such as Experience Halo, which can double the experience points gained? Xiao Yuer looked at him with strange eyes, as if she was doubting something. She really didn't believe that someone could level up so quickly. Even with the guild's experience gain, it can't be so fast. But the professional panel level displayed by Qin Yun was impossible to deceive, and she had to believe it. I don't have to worry about this, Minister Xiao. You just need to bring me what I applied for. Qin Yun said expressionlessly, looking businesslike. He is very vindictive. Ever since the calm Minister Xiao exposed his little quirk last time, he has become wary of her and will never let his guard down. As the saying goes, a dog that bites never barks. Who knows what secrets she might see through if she is not careful. How dare you slander him as a white rabbit controller? To tell the truth is still slander. I will never forgive you. Okay, then please ask Vice President Qin to return the level 20 equipment that you applied for last time. Xiao Yuer also took a deep breath to suppress the shock in her heart. Her expression quickly returned to calmness, and she emphasized someone's position with a stronger tone. This style of writing notes and approving by yourself, you can tell at a glance that it was taught by my own president, Pei. Otherwise, how could he be so skilled? Well, that's it. Minister Xiao, please take stock. Qin Yun had already prepared for this, and he also knew the rules of the guild. He immediately took out the equipment he applied for last time from his space backpack and placed it in front of her. Soon, looking at the list of items, Xiao Yuer confirmed that this was the level 20 equipment he applied for last time, a lot of it. Well, we can rule out the suspicion that Vice President Qin abused his power and resold the guild's property. She nodded expressionlessly, feeling relieved. Then, Vice President Qin, please come with me and choose the level 30 equipment you want. Xiao Yuer put everything into the warehouse and recorded it in the book, and then said to Qin Yun, looking businesslike. Okay, then there's Minister Lao Xiao. The same is true for Qin Yun, who looks absolutely selfless and upright. Soon, With the active cooperation of Xiao Yuer, the head of the logistics department, he finally received a set of level 30 purple rare quality equipment, replacing the original set of level 20 equipment. The attributes were improved a lot again, and his strength was enhanced. Moreover, this time, he also applied for an additional weapon and a pendant. However, when Qin Yun discovered that the attack power of this level 30 purple dagger was far inferior to that of his own pale blade, he threw it into his space backpack to gather dust. Although the pendant had very good attributes, much higher than his ogre's bloodthirsty pendant, it had no blood-sucking effect, so it was thrown into the dust in his space backpack. He doesn't lack this kind of damage, but blood-sucking is more reliable for battery life. The reason why he wanted to apply for them was not only because he was curious about the attributes of level 30 purple equipment, but also because he didn't want to attract unnecessary attention and let others know that the weapons in his hands were very powerful. Last time, he could use the fact that he already had level 20 purple rare quality weapons and pendants as an excuse to hide from others, but this time, he is applying for level 30 equipment. Generally speaking, it is impossible not to need to replace it. Of course we have to apply together. Moreover, because Zhang Yu was with him last time, he didn't think much about it, but this time there was only Xiao Yuer, the head of the logistics department, so he had to be on guard. Never give her a chance to find her own weakness. This is how a real assassin should be cautious. After Qin Yun left, Xiao Yuer sighed softly, feeling that he was weird. Because she found that Qin Yun's attitude towards her was still very friendly when they first met, but since joining the guild, this guy's attitude towards her has always been alienated, which is very weird, but not that a kind of indifference and hostility, in short, a bit abnormal. How would she know that it was her own president she who sold her? The contemporary Cao Wushang belongs to yes. We shed bitter tears for our dedicated little Yuer. Okay, now that the level 30 equipment is solved, you can now challenge the level 30 dungeon, which is the most difficult level. After applying for the equipment, Qin Yun drove his beloved heavy motorcycle directly, left the guild headquarters, and headed straight out of the city with a clear purpose. Moreover, I can go to higher level monsters and the upgrade efficiency is improved again. In this way, the increased experience value required after upgrading can be reduced again, and you can continue to maintain your high-speed upgrade efficiency. That's right, Qin Yun plans to clear the level 30 dungeon. Although now he does not need to clear dungeons to obtain new equipment, even his original set of level 20 blue high-quality mixed equipment was sold to the store, including the Tiger Fang ring, for a total of sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, each piece of armor is only worth 20,000 to 30,000 yuan. The main reason is that the ring of tiger teeth is more valuable, which was sold for 60,000 yuan. Altogether, there is an income of 180,000 yuan. This suddenly made Qin Yun rich. He had saved more than 300,000 yuan and his wallet was bulging. Sure enough, with free guild equipment available, it is so easy for people to slowly accumulate wealth, because there is no need to spend their own money, it is all pure income. Moreover, you can continue to make money by completing dungeons, and use the guild's property to make your own money, which is great. Of course, Qin Yun would not let go of such a good opportunity. He would finish all level 20 copies every day before going to fight monsters and upgrade. Because you can not only get a lot of experience points by completing dungeons, but you can also earn extra income. It all depends on your luck. And his luck has always been very good. In the past half-month, he has obtained almost 80,000 yuan worth of materials and equipment, which is far more than the average brick mover who has changed jobs. Others may not have as many as him in a month, and they have to be divided among 5 people. After all, level 20 dungeons are not very valuable, and the explosion rate is still low. Low-level career changers are so miserable. Not only do you earn less, but you also risk your life. Maybe one mistake will cost you all your hard work for several months, but you don't dare not spend money to buy the resurrection badge, because without it, you will really die and everything will stop. Not long after, Qin Yun arrived at his destination, which was the entrance to the level 30 copy, the Goblin Forest. Of course, there are no goblins in this forest because they are all in the dungeon. The reason why it is called this is purely because the entrance to the dungeon is here, and there is no other reason. This forest is actually a bit strange. It is surrounded by very ordinary grass, but it appears suddenly, which seems a bit inconsistent. Everyone speculates that this may be caused by the energy escaping from the entrance to the level 30 copy to the outside world and affecting the surrounding terrain. But this is just speculation and cannot be confirmed. Qin Yun ignored these rumors and walked through the forest and came directly to the entrance of the familiar vortex made of starlight. The area here is also crowded with many career changers, setting up various stalls and selling goods, seeking to form a team, just like the entrance to the level 20 dungeon. However, the difference is that the equipment on them looks much higher than high level, very similar to that. No matter how bad they are still much better than the career changers near the level 20 dungeon, and they are not that miserable. But this is normal, because job transferees who can clear level 30 dungeons have basically reached level 30 or above. They have at least some accumulation and higher income. Most career changers generally prefer playing on the normal difficulty level because it is safer, less risky, and safer. After all, they are just trying to make money by moving bricks. It is not worth risking their lives just to increase the probability of shipment. Therefore, people who can form a team to clear difficult level dungeons are still relatively rare, and those who can work alone are even rarer. Seeing Qin Yun alone, some people wanted to invite him to join a team to brush up the credits, because the equipment he was wearing looked very impressive at first glance. He must be a big shot, and he might be able to hug him. However, Qin Yun ignored them and directly chose to enter the dungeon alone. Moreover, it is still the highest nightmare difficulty. The frightening red light that instantly erupted from the star vortex shocked the people who had just invited him to form a team and couldn't help but speechless and dumbfounded. No wonder he rejected their invitation to form a team. It turns out that this is a boss who can clear the nightmare difficulty alone. You have entered the level 30 dungeon, Goblin Tribe. The difficulty level is nightmare. You can pass the level after killing the boss. Please be careful. Single quote. After entering the dungeon, Qin Yun found himself in a dense forest similar to the outside world. He could also hear the chirping of insects and birds in the distance, which was very deep. At this time, the dungeon prompt popped up, proving that he had indeed been transported into the dungeon and was not still in the outside world. Goblin Tribe. Qin Yun took out the dagger and twirled it a few times, already prepared for this. According to prior intelligence investigations, the monsters in this dungeon are a group of goblins living in the forest. They are probably a small tribe with more than 100 animals, and their leader is a huge goblin leader, a melee type. Copy boss. It is more than 2 meters tall and is blind in one eye. Its main weapon is a long knife. It can also use bows and arrows to attack from a distance, and even short knives. There are many tricks. The most interesting thing is that it often uses the special method of rolling out its knife to quickly approach the enemy, attack the enemy's lower body, or avoid the enemy's attack. Those who have been transferred love to talk about it and affectionately call it the hobgoblin. Although it is not small in size, it is considered a sensitive boss. It rarely stands still and gets beaten, so it is not easy to deal with. As for the monsters in the dungeon, well, they are all ordinary goblin monsters, shorter than humans and ugly in appearance. They have melee and long-range capabilities, but they have no magic system. They should have intelligence problems and cannot master magic. Qin Yun looked around and found some traces of activity left by the goblins in the forest, and followed the direction to find them. Soon, he heard a faint noise. It seemed that the goblins were fighting with each other. Qin Yun didn't have any tactical plan, he just planned to rush over. First, there is nothing special to pay attention to in this dungeon. As long as you don't disturb too many goblins at once, just seduce them in small groups and kill them all slowly. Second, be careful not to step on the traps they set in the forest around the tribe's camp, lest you fall in and be besieged by a large group of goblins. The third is to be careful of the top of your head, because these goblins are a bit cunning. Sometimes they will hide secretly in the trees. When the job transfer person passes by below, they will immediately jump down and attack. It is called a sudden attack. But once you are prepared, you don't need to worry too much. Their threat is similar to that of wild monsters of the same level. Of course, this is nightmare difficulty, so their attributes should be much stronger. This dungeon can be successfully completed by slowly weakening the goblin tribe's defense, then confronting the dungeon boss, and then killing it. It is not very difficult. Therefore, even if the equipment of the job changer is not very good, as long as you have patience, you can clear the normal difficulty of this dungeon. For Qin Yun, it is even simpler. With his explosion damage output, he can just rush in and kill one by one until they are all killed, and then he can quickly clear the dungeon. Not to mention, now he has changed into a level 30 purple rare quality armor, which has a very high defense. Even if he stands still, he can be hacked by them for a long time without losing much blood at all. Therefore, after Qin Yun found the location of the goblin tribe, he rushed towards it without any cover-up. Grumble, Gu, roar. As soon as they saw Qin Yun, a strange human being, the group of goblins who were fighting suddenly made all kinds of strange noises, jumped up and down, and were very excited. They were not afraid at all. Instead, they were armed with various crude weapons and rushed towards Qin Yun in a swarm, a mess. Tisk, he looks so ugly. He's just like a little green monster. Qin Yun commented on the appearance of these goblins, and then threw a detection scroll at them. Name, Goblin Warrior. Level 30. Life, 9780. Attack power, 1184. Physical defense, 840. Magic defense, 720. Name, Goblin Archer. Level 30. Life, 6842. Attack power, 1384. Physical defense, 746. Magic defense, 672. It can only be said that their attributes are not bad, but that is only for ordinary job changers. Qin Yun can now kill even wild monsters over level 50 with one move, let alone those with such small bodies. In his hands, they were only suitable for rushing over to deliver food, with no residual blood at all, just one knife at a time. Soon, the first batch of goblins that rushed up were chopped down by him a few times and sent away directly. A few of the remaining goblins seemed to be frightened out of fear, and ran back screaming, alarming more goblins, who came out of their simple campsites one by one, screaming and making noises. Qin Yun was too lazy to chase, and just maintained the killing rhythm, approaching the center of the camp step by step. He didn't care whether the goblins rushed over or turned around and ran away. Anyone who rushes to attack him will be killed instantly by him without mercy. Soon, corpses lay on the ground in the goblin tribe's camp, looking miserable. Roar. Suddenly, a low roar sounded. I saw a goblin that was stronger than an ordinary goblin, holding a ferocious mace and wearing a broken armor, and ran out in large strides. As soon as it saw Qin Yun, a human enemy, it roared with anger, its eyes were blood red, and it casually hit a little goblin that ran past its feet with a stick. It was very irritable and extremely cruel. Qin Yun had no expression on his face and immediately threw a detection scroll at it. Name, Strong Goblin Warrior. Level 32. Life, 28,645. Attack power, 1936. Physical defense, 1214. Magic defense, 996. Oh, it's actually an elite monster. As soon as he saw its attribute panel, which was far superior to that of ordinary goblins, Qin Yun knew what it was. It was the elite level mob boss that was necessary for nightmare difficulty dungeons. It could easily make the 5-person team of career changers panic. Even the culprit who accidentally overturned the car and wiped out the whole group. Because in the dungeon, they often do not fight the job changer alone, but attack the job changer together with the surrounding mobs, which is very difficult to deal with. Sure enough, with the appearance of this elite-level goblin warrior, the ordinary goblins who had been panicking and running around immediately calmed down, and all let out strange screams, turning back and roaring at Qin Yun. Call. Roar. The strong goblin warrior picked up the mace and pointed it in the direction of Qin Yun. Suddenly, they all attacked again, looking crazy and fearless of death. Sure enough, when there is no command, ordinary goblins are just a group of wandering soldiers. After having a command, they become a bit fierce. Facing the siege of this group of goblins, Qin Yun seemed to be at ease, not panicking at all, and even made a comment. In this case, if the cooperation of the 5-person team is not good enough, it is really easy to be overwhelmed and unable to cope. But for him, it was still the same as before, one sword at a time. There was no other difference, that is, the attack rhythm had to be a little faster, because the frequency of these goblins coming at them was a bit fierce, and it was not enough to kill them slowly. Whoa, Soon, the strong goblin warrior also rushed over. It swung its mace, jumped up and hit Qin Yun on the head with a fierce momentum. Qin Yun was not polite to it, and directly stabbed him in the back, dodged its attack, and appeared behind it. At the same time, the dagger pierced deeply into the elite-level goblin's waist, killing it instantly without giving it a chance to strike next time. -74,298. No matter how thick its HP is and how high its defense is, it will still be instantly killed in one move in his hands. There is no difference at all. The strong goblin warrior fell to the ground wailing on the spot and could no longer become fierce. Seeing this, the few remaining ordinary goblins screamed in fright. They immediately turned and ran away, running away like crazy. Then, more goblins were alerted and rushed over from all directions. This is the difficulty of this dungeon of the goblin tribe. Unless the team of job changers can kill them all in a short time, the goblins rushing towards them will continue to flow, be defeated, turn around and run away, and then be alarmed again. More goblins rushed over, one after another, which was very annoying. Qin Yun really likes this dungeon mechanism, because he doesn't have to chase monsters around, they will come to him on their own. He decisively activated the double experience when he killed the first goblin. Now not only is he not afraid, but he feels very happy. He hopes they will come more often. Because, although the level of these goblins is only level 30, which is far less than the experience points gained by beating monsters beyond the level, there are enough of them. Although the two combined can only equal one high-level monster, in total, the double experience gain is even greater. This is also the reason why he insists on refreshing copies every day, not just to make money by shipping goods. You only need to spend one time to turn on double experience, you can refresh 3 copies, and then turn it off again, there is no waste at all. The total time spent on clearing the Nightmare Dungeon 3 times in a row was almost half an hour. He still had 2.5 hours left to go to the higher level jungle area to fight monsters and upgrade. Soon, the second elite level goblin warrior appeared. Similar to the previous one, it could also give orders and direct ordinary goblins to attack the job changer. Moreover, it can also play with bows and arrows, and the arrows it shoots are like snipers, powerful and heavy, extremely accurate, and the damage is extremely high. Qin Yun deliberately did not dodge and resisted its arrow. He was a little surprised to find that more than 500 drops of blood were lost. You know, his current defense power is quite high, close to 3,000 points, but he still gets 3-digit damage from it. This only shows that the attack power of this bow-type elite level goblin is not weak, at least. It's over 2,000 points, and the skill damage coefficient is not bad either. Fortunately, he now has more than 16,000 HP, and has 50% damage reduction from the awakened talent skill. He can directly receive more than 30 arrows from it, so there is no need to panic. What's more, these mobs are my blood replenishing packs. The damage you do is not enough for me to suck them up with my knife. You can shoot them however you want. Qin Yun didn't bother to pay attention to the elite level goblin archer and concentrated on killing the mobs. For an ordinary level 30 job changer, even in a shield battle, the defense power is only about 1,500. It is estimated that more than 3,000 drops of blood will be killed by it at once, which is almost 1/5, especially for crispy professions. It's so embarrassing, at least half of the blood should be thrown away. If you get shot with a few more arrows, you can probably go back to the city to get your lunch box. Not to mention, there are a large group of ordinary goblins around them that are besieging them crazily, making strange noises, which is not easy to deal with. Forget it, let's kill these ordinary ones first, and then lest these little monsters get scared and run away again. Qin Yun resisted the strong urge to stab him in the back. He first killed the ordinary goblins one by one, leaving only a few to let them escape and report the news. Then, he set his sights on the crazy goblin. Elite level goblin archer. Have you come so many times? Are you satisfied? It's my turn. He snorted softly, teleported over with a backstab, and pierced the waist of this elite level goblin archer, making it dance so arrogantly. Its HP is only over 21,000, which is not as good as the previous strong goblin warrior. Its defense is also 200 lower, but its attack power is relatively high, and it is also long range. It likes to hide behind ordinary goblins. It's really a bit of a loss to play dirty tricks behind the scenes. But Qin Yun taught it how to behave with one move and directly emptied its health bar. Well, it should be almost done, right? After killing the elite level goblin archer, Qin Yun picked up all the materials and glanced around. He found that there were 70 or 80 corpses lying in the entire goblin tribe camp. They were densely packed all over the place. There should be very few left. He couldn't help but look at the tallest and largest building in the center of the camp. If nothing unexpected happens, the final boss of this dungeon, the hobgoblin, should be inside. After cleaning up these minions, it's the boss's turn. Well, I hope it explodes with some good stuff. With this thought, Qin Yun quickly cleaned up the remaining mobs, then killed the 2 goblin guards guarding the building gate, pushed the door open and walked in. Unexpectedly, there was a huge goblin lying inside. It was sleeping and was not disturbed at all by the sound of fighting outside. However, this should be the normal mechanism for replicas. After all, if the boss appeared together with the mobs, it would be a complete mess. How would a 5-person team of career changers cope? They are not a perverted output like Qin Yun. Apart from turning around and running for their lives, they are simply invincible. Okay. Call. Sure enough, when Qin Yun opened the door and walked in, he immediately triggered the mechanism and woke up the hobgoblin who couldn't wake up. It stopped snoring, immediately picked up the long knife weapon beside it, and stood up, seeming to be very alert. It opened its one eye and stared at Qin Yun. Its eyes were full of bloodshot eyes. It seemed to have a bad temper and was very angry when it got up. Qin Yun threw a detection scroll at it and immediately saw its specific attributes. Name: Goblin Tribe Leader 1 Eye. Level 34. Life: 47,625. Attack Power: 2,547. Physical Defense: 1374. Magic Defense: 1218. Skills: Rolling, Swift Slashing, Ground Knife, Heavy Slash, Short Bow, Rapid Fire, Throwing, Rage. All I can say is that he is indeed a hob brother, and rolling is his first skill. With the blessing of nightmare difficulty, its attribute panel is also quite luxurious. Far from the ordinary goblins outside, it is comparable to the elite level goblin. It is quite powerful and worthy of the name of the leader level boss. Kai, Gu, Kar, Li, wow. The hobgoblin screamed strangely at Qin Yun, making a strange noise with unknown meaning. It seemed to be some kind of goblin language, and the tone was very unfriendly. Presumably, it also knew that Qin Yun was an intruder with bad intentions. This is our first meeting. Hello, I'm here to buy equipment. Please be sure to meet my little expectations. Thank you. Qin Yun turned the dagger in his hand a few times and greeted politely and sincerely. Roar. But obviously, the hobgoblin didn't accept his politeness and became furious in an instant. It rolled over and came to the front of Qin Yun, and with a sharp slash of the sword in its hand, it slashed towards his legs. Although when the game is digitized, you don't have to worry about your legs being chopped off by it, only the damage value, but its fierce momentum is indeed very unusual. Seeing this, Qin Yun stood up, shrank his legs, jumped, and managed to avoid it. His reaction was very fast. But the hobgoblin didn't stop attacking. It rolled again, lifted up the knife, and struck him in midair. The combo was very smooth. Qin Yun was a little surprised and raised his eyebrows. There was nowhere to hide in midair, so he directly used his backstab to hit its waist. Minus 68,463. A terrifying damage value floated from the head of the hobgoblin, directly clearing its health bar. It didn't even have a chance to use its residual blood to explode, and it was instantly killed. No matter how much it flips and rolls, and is agile, it can't dodge this backstab, and has no chance. I didn't mean it. Qin Yun withdrew the dagger and felt a little embarrassed. Actually, I really wanted to continue playing with you, but I just couldn't hold it back for a while. Sorry. He felt a little ashamed in his heart, feeling that he had won a little too quickly and not enough to give the other party face. After all, it is also a level 34 leader level dungeon boss. It is killed instantly with one move, which is really unsightly. But it's already like this, so I have to accept it. I can only say that next time, I will let you roll on the ground a few more times and have a lot of fun. Well, that's it. I'll give you a chance next time. So, please come out with some good stuff. It seemed that his sincerity had worked. 2 dazzling lights lit up next to the body of the hobgoblin, which was very conspicuous. 1 blue, 1 purple. Is it really shipped? Qin Yun instantly became surprised and immediately ran over to pick them up. 2 lights, or 1 blue and 1 purple. Has my character exploded? Qin Yun was very surprised and immediately picked up the trophies, extremely excited. The last time I was so lucky and got 2 pieces of equipment was the last time. That was quite a long time ago, and he almost couldn't remember the day. But today, his record for the most luck in Europe was refreshed. Last time it was just 1 blue and 1 green, but this time it was 1 blue and 1 purple, both of them were promoted directly. Moreover, it was the first time he cleared the level 30 nightmare difficulty dungeon. Hey, wait, so it seems that the last time a double yolk egg was released was the first time I cleared the level 20 nightmare difficulty dungeon. Could it be said that every time a copy is refreshed, as long as it is nightmare difficulty, it will be shipped for the first time? What kind of metaphysics is this? Will the first-time product be sure to explode and increase the first-time shipment rate? But I haven't heard anyone else mention it. Well, I'll give it another try next time I clear the level 40 nightmare difficulty dungeon. Qin Yun had an uncertain thought in his mind, but he could only suppress it temporarily and looked at his trophy. First of all, of course, let's see what comes out of that purple light. Some people like to save the good stuff for last, but he prefers to choose what he likes first. Name: Goblin Ring. Type: Jewelry. Grade: Rare. Star rating: 2 stars. Level requirement: Level 30. Occupational requirements: None. Attribute effect: Strength plus 120. Agility plus 120. Intelligence plus 120. Special effect: Haste. Reduce skill cooldown by 10%. It's actually a ring. It's purple and of rare quality. Now I'm rich. As soon as he saw the type of purple equipment, Qin Yun's eyes lit up, knowing that he would definitely make a lot of money from this copy. You know, jewelry has a very low explosion rate, which makes them almost as expensive as weapons. And a level 30 purple rare quality ring is worth at least 200,000 to 300,000, not to mention, it is an accessory with special effects, and it is also a skill cooldown reduction tool that is suitable for every profession. Its 3 attribute effects also prove that this is a universal type of jewelry. Whether it is strength type, agility type or legal profession, it can be used, and the effect is very good. In this way, it won't have to worry about selling, and it can even be sold for tens of thousands more. Well, do you want to use it yourself? Qin Yun looked at it and then took a look at the guild equipment he was currently wearing. They were 2 rings with a main agility attribute that increased critical strike by 5%. They were also very suitable for his profession. Which one is better, 5% critical hit or 10% CD reduction? Well, forget it, I won't change it anymore. After thinking for a while, Qin Yun decided not to change it and chose to sell the goblin ring for money. Firstly, because he mainly relies on normal attacks to defeat monsters and upgrades. His skills are rarely used, only when fighting boss. Moreover, 1 or 2 skills can often defeat the boss in seconds, and there is no need to wait for the skills to cool down before fighting the second one. Set output. The second reason is that the 5% increase in critical hit is not bad, and it is also the main agility attribute, adding 150 points, which is 30 points more than the goblin ring, and the attack bonus is higher. Although the weakness of his delusion-breaking eye mark is a critical hit, it must hit the marked part. When attacking other places, a critical hit is still required. Third, the jewelry he is using now is applied to the guild and can be used for free, but cannot be sold. The goblin ring is his own and can be sold directly. It is also good to exchange for money. You know, which epic dagger weapon doesn't cost millions? Even tens of millions. He needs to be prepared to save more money and buy a few more epic daggers so that the Pale Blade can use them as materials to continuously advance and grow. Although he doesn't have to spend money to buy equipment now, there will still be a lot of money to spend in the future. He had secretly taken a look at the guild's logistics warehouse a long time ago. The inventory of epic equipment in it was very small, only a few pieces, and most of them were not suitable for his assassin profession. This also means that in the future, he will have to save up his armor bit by bit on his own. He can't always use purple rare quality equipment to make up for it, right? The Tower Demolition Team Guild has only been established for 4 years. Its foundation is still very shallow, its accumulation is not enough, and it does not have a lot of various materials. After all, even Zhang Yu, the president, has only reached level 73 3 times. The highest dungeon she can play is level 70 dungeon, and the probability of breaking out epic equipment is very low. Presumably, the few pieces of epic level equipment in the guild warehouse are already one of the president's few gains. Of course, Qin Yun must make plans for the future. He cannot spend all his money casually. The more he saves, the better. When he reaches level 4 level 100 in the future, even if he doesn't have all the legendary level equipment, it must at least be at the epic level to be considered passable, right? Okay, it's decided, sell this ring for money. Qin Yun threw the goblin ring into his space backpack and placed it on the page where he was preparing to sell it. Then, he looked at the next piece of loot. Name: Goblin Long Sword. Type: Weapon. Grade: Excellent. Star rating: 2 stars. Level requirement: Level 30. Occupational requirements: Warrior, Swordsman. Wearing requirements: Strength 320 points or more. Attribute effect: Attack power plus 760. Strength plus 150. Constitution plus 50. Stamina plus 50. Special effects: None. Well, this is a powerful longsword, not suitable for his profession. Moreover, its attributes are quite satisfactory, nothing special, not even special effects. Qin Yun estimated that its properties were roughly equivalent to those of a level 20 purple rare quality sword, but it was slightly lower, so it seemed that it would not fetch a good price. Well, it's not bad if it can be sold for 80,000 yuan. It's not as good as the 100,000 yuan for a level 20 purple long sword. Although its attributes are only a little lower, its wearing requirements are level 30, and its scope of application is narrower. Only those career changers who have reached level 30 but cannot even afford a purple rare quality weapon will consider buying a level 30 blue fine quality long sword. It's not that I'm worried that it won't sell. On the contrary, it should sell very well because career changers with low talent levels account for the vast majority. Even though he is surrounded by a bunch of money spenders, he can easily afford purple rare quality equipment, which makes purple equipment seem cheap. But in fact, many career changers cannot afford purple equipment, just like before, he could only use blue equipment or even green equipment instead of mixing them together. If the guild's benefits weren't good enough, he would still be one of those people, there would be no difference. Because not everyone has a good background, he is the same, that is, the awakened talent is good, and his destiny changes. Qin Yun is very aware of this and cherishes this opportunity. He put the long sword into his space backpack, and put it on the page where he was going to sell it, just like the goblin ring before. Then, without wasting any more time, I immediately chose to exit the dungeon and challenge the nightmare difficulty again. You know, his current double experience time is still passing by minute and has not stopped. Because the number of times it can be opened and closed per day is limited, it is best to clear all 3 copies at once, so as to save more time and leave more time to fight monsters and upgrade. He had already used it once before when he went to the wild area to fight monsters and upgrade. When he entered the dungeon just now, it was turned on for the second time. Qin Yun planned to finish all 3 level 30 dungeons in one go, then pause and wait. When you go to the wild area to fight monsters and upgrade, turn on the last one. Fortunately, he had previously disliked that the monsters in the level 20 dungeon gave too little experience and did not choose to activate it, otherwise the times would not be enough. In the next 2 level 30 nightmare difficulty dungeons, Qin Yun's luck seemed to have run out, and he did not reveal any valuable equipment, only some ordinary materials. I can earn back the ticket money, but not much, just enough to pay for a few days of food. However, Qin Yun was not disappointed, because he had a blast the first time he swiped, and almost earned the entire month's income. He was in a great mood. Therefore, after quickly completing 3 copies, he immediately left the goblin forest and rushed to the wild area to fight monsters and upgrade. After leaving the forest area that was not suitable for heavy motorcycles and coming outside, Qin Yun couldn't wait to summon his beloved little motorcycle, got on it, twisted the accelerator, and rushed towards the distribution area of high-level wild monsters. In the following days, he basically followed this upgrade rhythm. He would first complete all level 20 and level 30 copies, and then go to the next level to kill monsters and upgrade, so as to make money and upgrade at the same time. His level is steadily improving, his wallet balance is also increasing, and he is getting more and more promising. It wasn't until a month later that his level finally reached level 40. Phew, finally reached level 40. On this day, Qin Yun instantly killed a level 56 wild monster with one move, and a golden light suddenly appeared on his body, which meant that he had officially reached level 40. My hard work and efforts over the past month are not in vain. Opening the Personal Career Attributes panel, he watched as his experience progress bar turned into 2 long bars again, replacing the original 100%, which meant that he had once again reached the level bottleneck. If he does not perform the second turn, he will no longer be able to continue to gain experience points. Well, next we have to challenge the second level single-player job transfer dungeon. Qin Yun nodded, knowing something in his heart. However, before I prepare to challenge, I must first change into a set of level 40 purple rare quality equipment to make everything ready. And for this, of course, you have to go to the guild headquarters and submit an application to Xiao Yuer, the director of the logistics department. Fortunately, since he is the vice president, he can write the note and approve it himself, which is very convenient and does not need to go through all kinds of troublesome application procedures. That's great, Soon, Qin Yun drove his beloved heavy-duty motorcycle back to the guild headquarters, went to the logistics department again, and handed the written application form to Xiao Yuer. Hello, Minister Xiao, I'm here to apply for new guild equipment. Qin Yun said to the head of the logistics department with a smile, very politely. Applying for new guild equipment. Xiao Yuer took it with some confusion, glanced at it for a few times, frowned and looked up at him. Do you want to apply for a set of level 40 purple rare quality equipment? Right, Qin Yun nodded, as if confirming that she had read it correctly. But, didn't you just apply for a level 30 purple suit a month ago? Xiao Yuer's expression was a little confused and she frowned. What do you want the level 40 purple suit for? Could it be? A very ridiculous idea came to her mind, but it was too unbelievable. Because I have reached level 40. Qin Yun took it as a matter of course, nodded and said, level 30 equipment is no longer suitable for me to use. Ha! Xiao Yuer was so shocked that she stood up on the spot and looked at him with wide eyes. You have reached level 40. What the hell? That ridiculous idea she had before actually became true. I clearly remember that you just reached level 30 a month ago. How long has it been? You have actually reached level 40. Wouldn't it be so scary? Are you going too fast? It's not that fast on a rocket, right? I suspect you are on a spaceship. Xiao Yuer looked at him with eyes wide open in disbelief. Her expression could be astonished as she could fit a duck egg into her mouth. Yes, what's the matter? Of course Qin Yun knew how outrageous his leveling speed was, but he didn't want to deliberately slow down his speed. Instead, he wanted to go faster. Otherwise, he wouldn't keep trying to get higher levels and fight higher level jungle. Weird, get more experience. Even every time he received double experience or 5 times experience, he counted the duration in seconds, not wasting a single minute and cherishing it very much. Therefore, even as the level continued to increase and the required experience points continued to increase, he maintained the astonishing efficiency of leveling up in 3 days, and successfully reached level 40 within a month. Look, this is my current level. Qin Yun also knew that she was a little unbelievable, so he directly showed his level, which was the most convincing. You and I, looking at the bright level 40, Xiao Yuer, who was always calm, felt a little bad. He actually really reached level 40 within a month. Oh my god, what kind of monster genius has our guild recruited? Xiao Yuer's whole body was numb, she lost her ability to think, and her expression was dull. Only then did Xiao Yuer wake up, almost forgetting the normal process, and couldn't help but blush a little. Soon, with Xiao Yuer's help, Qin Yun selected a set of level 40 purple rare quality equipment that suited him and left with satisfaction. Because she guessed what Qin Yun wanted to do, which was to challenge the second level solo copy. This is too outrageous. He decided to go to the training ground to test his actual combat ability, to better understand his current damage output, and to investigate the information about the second transfer, so that he could be mentally prepared, and then he could officially go to the Temple of Job Transferers and apply. Challenge the second-level single-player job transfer dungeon. Minister Xiao. Minister Xiao. Qin Yun fully understood her surprise, but he wanted to get his equipment and challenge the second-level single-player job transfer dungeon earlier. Haha, Minister Xiao, please take stock. His personal professional attributes have improved a lot again, and his strength has reached an unprecedented level. Less than 4 months after awakening and changing jobs, he was promoted to level 40 like crazy. Okay, please follow me. Please follow me and choose the level 40 equipment you want. Qin Yun looked at Xiao Yuer's expression and knew her attitude, so he couldn't help but smile. Even President Zhang Yu at SS level couldn't match his upgrade speed back then, right? She was feeling dizzy now and felt like she was shaking when she walked because the stimulation she received was so great. That was a top priority. She didn't want to delay Qin Yun's plan because of herself, and she wanted to get it done for him right away. There's nothing I can do about it, this guy in front of me is so amazing. Qin Yun moved his hand in front of her eyes, finally calling back her 3 souls and 7 souls. She came back to her senses with an embarrassed expression. Okay, here's Minister Lao Xiao. Sorry, this is too unbelievable. She nodded, and compared the entry and exit records on the item list. She finally completed the procedure and confirmed that nothing was missing. Even though he had little expectations, he didn't know what kind of difficulties would be waiting for him. Xiao Yuer collected them into the warehouse, recorded them in the book, and immediately took him into the logistics warehouse, very conscientiously, even more eager than him. She has been the head of the logistics department for so long, and this is the first time she has lost her composure like this. Xiao Yuer nodded immediately and finally remembered her responsibilities. After accepting this result, Xiao Yuer's heart was full of surprises. He was indeed a transcendent-level genius favored by the president, and the day when he would grow into the Big Three was almost around the corner. Does he really have an aura of experience? Qin Yun took out the set of level 30 purple rare quality equipment that he had prepared long ago from his space backpack and placed it neatly in front of Xiao Yuer. Minister Xiao, can you take me to collect the level 40 purple rare quality equipment now? Ah, don't you need to return the level 30 equipment you applied for last time? It seems that Zhang Yu is right. Minister Xiao really does his best for the guild and is her most capable assistant. Qin Yun thought of his last experience and couldn't help but remind Minister Xiao. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Otherwise it is impossible to explain. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.